inexcusable. They know for a fact that they messed up and they no longer want to talk about Donald Trump. But I have questions. I have questions for Trump supporters, and I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. But in the meantime, in between time, guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live, do all the wonderful things, right? Let's go ahead and get the shares up to 50 shares. Let's go ahead and get the shares up to 50 shares. We officially are above 8,000 likes. That means if there is any Trump supporter bold or brave enough, I know Trump support. Listen, I know Trump supporters aren't known for their mental acuity, but they're also not necessarily known for their testicular fortitude. I don't know, guys. I'm hoping that we can get a Trump supporter up here because, again, I'm still searching for the answer to the question as far as who's Trump's daddy, right? Because we know for a fact that there's Elon Musk, who is on a tirade. I mean, Elon Musk, or President Musk, is running through every single government establishment that we have. It's absolutely insane. But we have a lot more. Is it Jask? How do I say your username?
Gast K.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Gast K. It's fine. It's kind of difficult to pronounce if you haven't played Minecraft, I guess.
Oh, I never have. Can I call you G?
Is that yeah, right? Of course.
All right, I'm gonna call you G. G, are you a Trump supporter?
No, I am not.
Oh, okay, no worries. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down, friend. I'm only looking for Trump supporters. I appreciate you so much.
Right. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, guys. Tap the screen, share the live. Again, get in the box if you are a Trump supporter. Get in the box if you're a Trump supporter. We are only talking to Trump supporters. This is Sparring with Santana. What up, Char? I see you. We are only talking to Trump supporters. Get in the box if you are a Trump supporter. If you are friendly, do all the wonderful things, right? Keep tapping the screen, share the live out. Again, let's go ahead and get the shares up to 100 shares. Let's get the likes up to 25,000 likes. And last but not least, can we please knock out the daily gift goal? Hey, thank you for the hanging lights. Thank you so much. Can we knock out the gift goal, which is the pink heart puffs? Because I'm going to keep resetting the actual, hey, Robin. I'm going to actually keep resetting the daily gift goal to these 1 cent gift goals. It'll help push us out to the FYP, which will get more people in here, which will hopefully get more Trump supporters in here, which will hopefully get some smart Trump supporters in here. I doubt it. Okay, I said it. I doubt it. Okay. All right. I know. I'm asking for too much. I know, chat. I know, I understand. I'm asking for too much, but can we get one smart Trump supporter today? Is that possible? Like, is that possible? Do they even exist? I don't know. I don't know if they exist. I'm just hoping for one, right? I just need just one smart Trump supporter. I don't know if we could ever find that one, but just one, right? Because, or you know what? At this point, I don't even care if I get a smart Trump supporter. At this point, I would just take a brave Trump supporter, just one that's brave enough to get in the box, one that's brave enough. Lobster Feet, that's a cool name. Lobster Feet, are you a Trump supporter? Lobster Feet, are you a Trump supporter? Lobster Feet. All right, Lobster Feet, I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. Guys, keep tapping the screen, keep sharing the live. Yeah, I know. Again, I know it's a large lift. It's a lot to access. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm hoping for one smart Trump supporter to get in the box. Just one. If there's one that's somewhere out there, somewhere, anywhere, just one Trump supporter who has an inkling of intelligence, just a hint, just a little taste of intelligence to get in the box. Or maybe just one with a little bit of cojones, one that has a little bit of chutzpah, one that actually is brave, one that actually can summons it up and get in the box. I don't know. Terry 1977, I'm going to send you a request. I see you in the chat talking. Get in the box. Karen, are you a Trump supporter? Karen, are you a Trump supporter? I'm going to take that as no, and also you have an echo, so I'm going to drop it down. Terry, I see you in the chat, Terry. I see you in the chat, Terry. Get in the box. Get in the box, Terry. I know it's not. Listen, I know you might be scared. I know you might be intimidated. It's my intelligence. It's my good looks. It's my voice. All of those things might be a little overwhelming for Trump supporters, but I promise you, come up here. I'll hold your hand. We'll walk through this entire thing slowly. No need to be scared. No need to be intimidated. I promise you, I will take care of you. Hey, Alicia, how are you? An intelligent idiot. Oh, am I an intelligent idiot? Okay, cool. Get in the box. Get in the box. If I'm an intelligent idiot, get in the box. Let's talk about it. Show me how little I know. Hey, whatever. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, whatever. Do you know who I am?
No, I mean, you're Santana Jones. I mean, that's what your profile pic is.
Awesome. Listen, my friend. So that means you don't know necessarily what this is. You've never come across me. No worries. It's understandable. I'm going to give you a quick introduction, if you don't mind. I'm going to let you know who I am, what this is, and I'm also going to introduce the chat to what this is. So without further ado,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Why do we have to do all this?
Let's get ready to rumble!
That's not what's going to happen.
Y'all ready for this? Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. If you're friendly, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 200 shares. Guys, we have whatever here in the box. Whatever is a Trump supporter, and I have a question for whatever. I have a question for you. Whatever. Question. Who's Trump's daddy?
Not you.
Oh, I agree. I completely agree. You're absolutely right. I am not Trump's daddy. You're right. But I'm still a little bit confused because I'm trying to figure out, is it President Musk, right? We know that he's bending the knee for Bibi, so could it be him? He's always been Putin's puppet, but now, more recently, he's become the Heritage Foundation's whore, right? But we can't forget about his billionaire bosses. So I guess a better question, whatever, would be, how can a man serve so many masters?
Serve so many masters, huh? Mm-hmm. You mean there's people that are actually doing what he actually asked them to do?
No. He's doing what they demand for him to do. He is, listen, you have people like Bibi Netanyahu who's telling Trump to jump and he's saying, how high? You have people like Elon Musk who's saying, Trump, roll over, and Trump is saying, how many times? You have the Heritage Foundation saying, hey, Trump, stick out your tongue and pat your head. Trump is saying, is this good? So how can Donald Trump actually acquiesce to those many people at one time? That's weird.
Okay, so let's just see this. So he's actually exposing what's actually been going on in our government.
What is he exposing, friend?
The audits.
What audits?
What Musk is doing.
Oh, you mean Doge? You're referring to Doge?
I mean, if you want to call it Doge or whatever you want to call it, yeah.
Well, I mean, but you do understand that's the name of the that's the name of the actual group. That's what it's, the Department of Government Efficiency.
What it actually is.
No. Wait, do you not actually know what the name of it is?
Yeah, I know what Doge is, but I'm saying it's audits of our government. That's never.
Well, why are you pushing back on me calling it Doge when you said if that's what I want to call it, and then you said it's audits?
Because Doge is audits.
Doge is not audits. What does Doge stand for, friend?
What is it? The hell, I don't know. I can't really remember right now. Like
No worries.
government efficiency or whatever it is.
Can I share it with you?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
government
cool.
efficiency. I can't remember the.
Yeah, you're
first
close.
letter.
You're close. So let me just let's level set, if you don't mind, just so you and I are actually speaking. Thank you so much for the money gun. So
Are
you and I
are
are
you
actually
okay with
speaking.
it though?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Are you okay with what they're doing?
Well, we'll talk about it, but let's level set for a second just to make sure we're on the same page.
Oh,
All right. So Doge is the Department of Government Efficiency.
Efficiency.
So what they are actually tasked with doing is actually finding funds within the government that is excess spending, it's inefficient spending, and they're supposed to actually be able to submit those findings to the president so they can actually cut those funds. Basically, it's a wasteful spending within the government, right? So that's your understanding of Doge, right?
That's exactly what we're wanting to happen. That's never happened before.
Right, absolutely. And so that's why you were saying it's an audit, and that's why I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page as far as understanding, technically an quote unquote audit is what they're supposed to be doing, but the department is called Doge. And so I just want to make sure we were actually speaking the same
Okay, so
language.
Doge is an audit. It's just called Doge.
No. Doge isn't an audit. Doge is the actual department. Auditing is what they're supposed to do. Audit and recommendations is what they're supposed to do. Supposedly, right? Okay, cool.
Well, not supposedly, because I mean, if you haven't seen lately, they're actually showing the audits and they're actually showing the wasteful spending. So yes, it's actually working out exactly how it's supposed to.
I don't know. Hold on one second.
How can you just say,
hold on one second. Hold on one second. Whatever. Los Polo. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second here, okay?
I don't understand why you're even questioning why he's doing what he's doing.
Well, I'm not, but you won't give me a moment to actually speak. We've been trying to level set this whole time, and so you asked me a question. You said, "Do I disagree with it?" I've never even actually answered that question. So may I? Perfect. So whatever. As far as Doge, as far as the principle and the actual idea of Doge, I actually agree with that. I love the idea of Doge, honestly, right? Even more so, it's interesting that it was an idea that was the initiative that was actually started under the Obama administration, crafted under the Obama administration, and passed on from presidency to presidency as far as creating. Do you not believe me?
Oh, well, I mean, if it was never implemented.
No, you're absolutely right.
You're saying that you're yes, absolutely they talk about it, and they have always talked about it.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm just saying it's an idea that started then, and I've agreed with that idea. I even agree with the idea as far as Donald Trump implementing it, right? So okay. I just want to make sure you understand that. So the problem I have with the Doge, though, is the execution, right? So I think that people on the left and people on the right, we can all agree wasteful government spending is horrible, right? I mean, whatever. Can you and I agree on that?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's actually worse than whatever I ever thought it was going to be. It's like 100 times worse than that.
Yeah. I mean, no one wants our tax dollars being wasted, right? At all. With that being said, the issue that I have with this iteration of Doge is how it's set up, right? The fact that Elon Musk was put at top of Doge. I think the Doge should actually be a non-partisan or a bipartisan effort to actually decrease the amount of wasteful spending within the government, meaning it shouldn't be, oh, the Republicans are running it or, oh, the Democrats are running it. I think this should be a joint effort to actually make sure we're targeting wasteful spending within our government. With that being said, there's also a need to have people that understand the inner workings of the government, how it's connected, what's needed in order for them to actually make sure that they are cutting things that need to be cut. So the problem I have with putting Elon Musk in charge is he is someone who is looking at a spreadsheet, looking at a balance sheet and saying, oh, I see money here, I see money here, I see money here. All this needs to be gone without understanding the purpose, principle, or the inner working of said money. Also, He's lying to you, friend. I have a
How's
problem with
that?
that. So
How's that?
yeah, cool. So Elon Musk is doing something that's super interesting, which I've noticed that, and I hate to say it like this, but a lot of the Republican Party has been doing this a lot lately, where they actually take a little bit of information that's true and wrap a bunch of lies around it and then feed it to their base or feed it to the public. So
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm not. And I can give you actual proof of this. So what
You're
I'm saying is
Schumer and Maxine and Pelosi and all of them have not done that for years.
yeah, listen, I think that the government and politician as a whole aren't necessarily truthful at all when it comes to the American public.
Yeah, it's a uniparty, man. They're all against us.
Yeah, yeah, and let me be clear on this as well. Whatever, I'm okay with not knowing everything that the government knows. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Why?
Honestly, I don't want to know everything that the government knows, because there are certain things that our government should and have to do to keep us safe as American citizens on an everyday basis, where if we knew exactly what was happening, it would be, hey, approximately how old are you?
I'm 38.
30. Okay, cool. Same age. So you and I grew up in the same generation, right? So you remember when Men in Black came out?
Yeah.
So did you like the movie?
Yeah, they're all pretty good, actually. I'm like,
yeah, I listen.
Pretty good.
I enjoyed the Men in Black movies, but okay. So you remember when Will Smith was talking to what's his Tommy Lee Jones, whatever. Anyway, they were having a conversation, and this was after Will Smith had just learned that there were aliens and all of this other stuff. He just learned all of this crazy stuff, and Will Smith said, why wouldn't we tell the world that aliens exist? And Tommy Lee Jones, yes. And he was like, because, and for lack of better words, he said, because the American public, or the public, is stupid. If we actually told them that these things exist or this happened, it would put them in danger. They would panic, and they would live their life in fear. Right?
Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, hold on. Let me finish this thought, and then I'll give it to you.
Man.
So my overarching point is not necessarily that we don't need to know things, but I am okay with certain things being at a level where it's not necessarily shared with the public if it's something that's going to keep us safe and actually able to function in our everyday lives. That's my point.
Yeah, okay. I get that. Okay, so you said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Recently, Elizabeth Warren just said the American people don't need to know what their tax money is being paid on.
Did she? When did she say that?
Yeah, I mean, you can look it up.
Oh, I'm going to look that up.
She actually said that the American people don't need to know what we spend their tax money on. That's exactly what you just said.
Well, hell no.
No, that's not true at all. Hold on one second.
Yeah, she's unhinged, bro. She's been unhinged for a long time. We need to know exactly what the government's doing. 99% of what the government's doing, because the government, whatever they're doing, involves our money that they're taking from us and our paychecks and our time away from our families. Because essentially, when it comes down to it,
okay, cool.
Taxes
let's
are
see
time
here.
away from family, time away from everything else. Because if you have to work more overtime, blah blah blah.
So help me with this, because where can I find that information? Because I am like that's absolutely insane if she would ever say we don't need to know where our tax dollars are going to, because that's unhinged. I don't believe that's something that any politician would ever say, but I would love to find that. Where can I find that actual quote or information?
Keep that in the back of your head, and then I mean later on, just kind of look, see if you can research it a little bit, because it is out there. And she did say it's recent too. It's not like it's an old clip or something, because she just recently said, and it was after
she was
talking about RFK Jr. And all of his she's saying that he's going to bankrupt the pharmaceuticals and all that stuff or whatever that she thinks she's going to go on, which she takes a lot of money from.
Now, are you sure about that? Because so what I was able to find was her talking about was she has a Fox News digital op-ed challenging Elon Musk to cut $2 trillion in waste by taking on billionaires and grants a corporation. And she talks about let's see, here's something President Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and I agree on. The federal government throws away trillions of dollars on wasteful spending. Instead of cutting help for people who rely on Medicare, Social Security, and VA, we need to focus on billionaires and billionaire corporations who are feasting off the American taxpayers. So I can't find anything, even with this entire transcript, I don't see anything where she says that we don't need to know where the tax dollars is going. She's actually saying the opposite with this information, breaking down where the actual funds are going, talking about Medicaid, Medicare, talking about how there is a nonpartisan, how Medicaid is nonpartisan, how there's $140 $140 billion that's allocated for independent research. And all of this basically says she's talking about Elon Musk, and she's actually talking about the amount of money that he's quote unquote trying to cut with Doge. But she's at no point is she actually saying that we don't need to know where the tax money is being spent. So I would love to find that quote, friend.
Yeah, I'm not at my computer right now, so I mean I'm not going to be able to source it.
Okay.
You know, because I'm on my phone, so I'm chatting with you.
All right. I mean that's cool. It's just that quote
there
seems a little fishy.
That, you know, there are government officials saying that, you know, they're not wanting us to realize what they're actually spending our tax dollars on.
Who?
Obviously,
who though?
That's
like
true.
that's the point though.
It's obviously true because we're finding that out.
No, and again, that's the problem. We're not finding that out. Again, Elon Musk is putting out information, and it's a little bit of truth wrapped around a bunch of lies. I'll give you a specific example. Did you see where Elon Musk actually said that there is $8.1 million being spent on Politico?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there is not $8.1 million being spent on Politico by the United States government. There is money being spent on Politico by the United States government, and those funds are allocated based off of a service called Political Pro, right? And what Political Pro is a pro service that a lot of actual news organizations offer. It costs about $10,000, but it's a subscription service that governments and businesses and things like that, they can actually purchase, right?
What does that even mean?
What does what mean?
What does that even mean? Is that still tax dollars, or what are you talking about?
Yeah. So Elon Musk said there was 8.1
on a bias Politico news.
Politico is not
whatever.
Politico is nonpartisan. It's not biased news, friend.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. And even more so,
see, dude,
again,
I can't talk to you no more now because we obviously everybody knows.
What do you
Politico
what do you think is non-biased? Give me a news source that you think is non-biased. Give me a news source that you think is non-biased.
Damn, I don't know, bro. I mean, I don't know if there's ever a news source out there that's not biased.
So, okay. So maybe this will help, right? Maybe you and I can come to an understanding, right? There are definitely news sources that have leanings, right? Meaning that there's news sources that may lean a little left or lean a little right. But then there's also news sources that lean completely left and completely right. So you have your Fox News that leans completely right, where you have your CNN that leans completely left.
Right?
Yes, Fox News is completely right.
What about Geraldo?
What about Geraldo? Not right. Fox News is almost literally state TV. Whatever. I don't know. You're absolutely right. I don't know if I can have this conversation with you if you're saying that if you have no understanding and the nuances between the different type of news sources and who is actually doing what and where you can actually go for credible news. Where do you go to get your news and information?
Obama said this in one of his speeches. He
No.
said,
Answer the question, whatever. Where do you go to get your news and information?
Honestly, I kind of just gather the whole internet and just
For where?
see
Okay, if you want to verify if
every
something
source, CNN, CBS, Fox.
why are you using those?
Just people talking about how people talk about certain things.
But why are you using where? Okay, so is there a source of truth for you where you're like, oh, I need to know if this is actually true or if this is actually accurate.
Okay,
I'm gonna go there. Where do you go?
Shoot, man, I don't know. I just kind of use my own common sense on a lot of different sources, like even left and right, both sides, liberal.
But you don't think that's an issue?
Yeah. Huh?
You don't think that's an issue?
What do you mean? If I go to all sources and that's an issue.
Give me a second. J, or is it JW, or how do I say your username, friend?
Just say Jay.
Jay. Okay, cool. Jay, are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a small government conservative, and yes, I'm a Trump supporter.
Okay, cool. Real quick, because whatever, I'm gonna come back to you. We're gonna get back into this.
Right.
I just gotta ask Jay the question real quick. Hey Jay, quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Who's Trump's daddy?
I don't know what his name is. It's Dad, isn't he?
Oh, no. Okay, you're a little bit confused, friend. I'm not talking about Trump's father, right? I'm not talking about Fred Trump. I'm not talking about the known racist and Triple K member, Fred Trump. I'm not talking about him. I'm actually talking about his daddy, right? And maybe I can help you out with this. It could possibly be President Musk, because we know, what's going on with that. But he's also bending the knee to Bibi. So that's the thing, right? He's always been Putin's puppet. But as of recently, he's become the Heritage Foundation's whore, right? But he also has his billionaire bosses. So I'm a little bit confused as far as where does his actual interest lie? Who is his daddy?
I would say the American people. It seems to me he cares more for America than any Democrat has in the last 30 years.
Ooh, that's interesting. So one, you're absolutely wrong on the American people thing, right? I think that he should be, it should be the American people, but he has done nothing in the interest of the American people. You said something interesting, Jay. You said that he is doing things that no Democratic president has done within the last 30 years. Can you name a thing?
Let's see, getting rid of illegal immigrants.
Undocumented immigrants?
Yeah, no, illegal immigrants.
It's undocumented, friend.
Well, they're also illegal, friend. Getting trans out of sports.
Transgender people out of, that's weird. Okay, you want to go down transphobia avenue. Cool, keep going. What else are you saying that he's doing?
It's not transphobia.
It absolutely is. But what else are you what else is he doing?
Tax cuts. I mean, I hear you Democrats bitch about it, but everybody that worked for me, from the lowly laborer to the brick mason, to everybody, tax cuts went in. They got more money in their pocket.
Okay, cool. All right, so the three things that you said so far, and I want to actually talk about those three things. Wait. Did whatever run? Oh, chat, you know what that means. JW, give me a second, because
Sure,
whatever ran. You guys know what that means. Runner. Anyway, guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 200 shares. Also, guys, just a reminder, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you are a friendly, you can definitely drop a message and I will read that message out loud. If you're a friendly, do all those wonderful things. But again, if you're a friendly, please do not request up. This is not Late Nights with Santana. I am not talking to friendlies. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. So if you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you're someone that supports Donald Timothy Trump, get in the box. Kingly left. Kingly must have been a friendly. All right, so You mentioned three things, Jay. So you said he is actually he's actually deporting undocumented immigrants.
Illegal immigrants.
Again, undocumented immigrants. The thing about that, right, is, hey, why is Trump upset with his mass deportation process? Do you know why he's upset?
No, tell me.
He's upset because he's actually deporting people at a lower rate than Joe Biden. He literally just came out. The numbers just came out, and Trump is mad because his whole thing is mass deportation, yet his mass deportation effort is not going good. He's not actually deporting people at the pace of Joe Biden. The ICE raids have been unsuccessful because, surprise, surprise, people are finding out that they actually have rights, and they can't just their rights can't just be infringed upon. And he's also had to release people back into the United States that he supposedly caught up in the ICE raid because they don't have a place to actually house said people. So that mass deportation effort that he's actually going through, not going well. So not only is he not doing what Joe Biden did, but also let's not forget,
how many did Joe Biden get rid of in his first 2 weeks in office?
I don't know. I can look up that number. We can find that for sure. But again, it's not about the specific numbers, because I'm not talking about 15. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, Jay. I'm not talking about 15 to 1. That's not what I mean when I say numbers. I'm talking about the actual rate, the per deportation rate per time frame. So when you take a look at the actual time frame and what Joe Biden was doing on said trend, Donald Trump is falling below the trend, and he's upset about it, Jay. This isn't my words. I'm not talking about this. Donald Trump is the one that's upset.
Well, that's fine, but I don't see how you can compare it. The only way I could see to compare it is the first 2 weeks of Trump versus the first 2 weeks of Biden, who had more out.
I mean, again, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I'm just telling you that the Trump administration is upset at their own efforts. I'm just telling you what's happening within the administration. That's it. I'm not even trying to debate you as far as how well he is or is not doing. I'm just telling you.
Why did you bring that up about Biden then?
Because Joe Biden actually deported people at a higher clip, even though Donald Trump made mass deportation the basis of what he is and what he's doing, and they've had multiple targeted efforts that have been failures.
You can't compare that. You could compare it once Trump's 4 years are up.
No, because you're not talking about a 4-year clip. You're talking about an actual rate. Listen, if you want to talk about year over year, you're perfectly fine. But we're talking about the actual average. It's just an average, friend. Anyway,
okay,
next thing, because one last point that I want to actually wrap that up with. You said that he's doing something that no Democrat has done within the last 30 years. False, because we all know the clip that Barack Obama actually deported people. Barack Obama left office with a negative deportation rate, meaning he actually deported more people than came into the country. So that's not true.
I'll give you that. The Deporter in Chief, wasn't that what they called him? Yeah,
they absolutely did. So that statement wasn't true. All right. Second thing you mentioned is that he's actually, taking men out of women's sports. Listen, silly thing to say. I don't even want to get onto that topic too much because I have no interest in going down transphobia lane. The simple fact of the matter is, transgender people make up less than 1% of the actual population. There is a small, minute number of transgender athletes. And I'm not going to do the fear mongering, so we're going to speed past that. The third thing that you actually mentioned,
you can't win. You can't win on that one.
No, listen, I'm not trying to win on human rights. That's weird. That's a weird statement. For you to actually want to debate whether humans should have rights is a weird thing, and I refuse to do that with you. I'm not trying to win on human rights. Human rights are human rights.
How am I taking away human rights when I just don't want a man competing in a woman's sport?
Again, it's transgender phobia, and it leads to a whole thing, because then you start talking about men and women's sports, then you start talking about men and women's bathrooms, and then you start talking about gender affirming care and all. Listen, I've done this song and dance so many times. It's gross. Hold on one second, Jay. It's gross. I refuse to do it. I'm not. So we can go on to the third thing.
Right. Tell me how it's taking away their right. I'd like you to explain that statement.
Okay. All right. So Donald Jimothy Trump is going through a process of trying to delegitimize transgender people as if they don't exist, as if intersex doesn't exist, trying to say that there's only man and woman, right? Which we know is not a thing. But even more so, you have transgender people, one, who are just trying to live their lives. They're just trying to live their lives, and they're just trying to do things like help protect our United States of America. They are doing things they're doing things to, like, serving in the United States Army. But then you have Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth trying to actually exile them from the United States Army and take away those veterans who have served, take away their actual benefits, so they can't even get. They're so damn hell bent on being hateful that they are taking away the actual support for veterans to actually have mental support. There's a program that helps support the mental state of veterans, so they can. It's unalive prevention, right? TikTok friendly language. It helps unalive prevention. Hold on, let me finish this thought, because you wanted to do this dance, so we're going to dance.
Okay, dance. But
sure, they want to take away. They want to take away the unalivement prevention help that veterans actually have access to, because transgender people have access to that. That's insane. Not only are they targeting transgender people, but they're targeting all of our veterans who need that actual support. It's insane. You can speak, Jay.
You muted me. Can you hear me?
Oh, I didn't mute you. One of my mods might have. I'm sorry, guys. Please don't. If anyone muted him, don't worry about it. I got him. We're good. I apologize, Jay. Go ahead.
You said, Jay, you said Trump only wanted to identify man and woman. Let me ask you this. What else is there other than a man or a woman?
There's multiple genders. It's recognized in the Bible. Jesus has recognized them. Other countries recognize them. There's intersex people.
One simple question.
Sure.
In the last 7,000 years of archaeologist digs, bones being found, missing persons being found, have they ever said, hey, this guy was trans? No, it's either this was a man, this was a woman. If you're trans and I dig your body up in 300 years, I'm going to identify you as a man or a woman.
I hear you. I'm sorry, Jay. I want to hear your dumbass logic when you don't have.
Prove that point wrong.
JW, I don't want to hear your dumbass logic when we have scientific proof. We have scientific proof that show. Okay, cool. What do you call a person that has multiple genitalia?
Can you say that word on here, or will that get in trouble?
I don't even want you to try. I don't know where you're going with that, but I don't even want you to try. So, but when people have multiple genitalia, are you saying that the people with multiple genitalia, then what?
Then what? That's the same as a real rare disease. But still,
it's not a freaking disease. My point is that there's more than quote unquote men and women. The way that chromosomes are actually matched up, it's more than just it's more than X, Y. It's a whole conversation that you're not equipped for. And quite honestly, I'm not equipped for it either. I am not equipped for it either.
Well, I just know that
it's intersex people, just for anyone that was actually interested in it. Again, not interested in this conversation, Jay. So can we please move on?
Move on. That's fine. Move on to the next one.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's do this real quick, guys. W's in the chat for Ashley. Ashley sent a $5 donation. Thank you so much, Ashley, for that $5 donation. You are absolutely far too kind, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. There's almost 800 of us hanging out in here. So guys, can we keep tapping the screen? We're so close to 100,000 likes. Let's get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 200 shares. Also, if we can knock out our daily gift goal, it's the little heart fingers. It'll help boost the live and get us pushed out to the FYP. Last but not least, we are live on YouTube and Twitch as well. What up, YouTube? What up, Twitch? Guys, make sure you follow me on all the social medias, Blue Sky, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. If you are on Twitch right now, you can go ahead and become a subscriber. I updated some new badges in the subscription. So if you want to actually drop some of the new emotes from Twitch, as far as the subscriptions, if you're a sub, go ahead and drop that. And also, guys, if you're a sub on Twitch, we are connecting the Discord so you can actually get into the Discord from Twitch. Sorry, one other thing. If you're on TikTok and you used to be a sub and you're not a sub anymore, while I'm live, right now, while I'm live, you can go on your computer. You have to do it from your computer, not from your phone. Hey, dog lover with the emotes. But if you're on Twitch, you used to be a sub, you want to resub, you have to go to tiktok.com from your computer. And if you go to my profile, you can actually resubscribe while I'm live. You can get access. The benefits to get back into the Discord is through your actual benefits, so you can get back in. So if you want to resubscribe and you are on TikTok right now, you can do it, or you can go over to Twitch and you can become a subscriber as well. All right. I know that was a mouthful. I apologize. Real quick, Jay, before I come back to you, let me hit DJ because DJ is being super patient. DJ, how are you today, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, man?
DJ, who you got in the Super Bowl?
You know what? I really could not care less. I hate to say it, but
that's a fair statement. But if you had to pick, come on, DJ.
I'm a big sports fan.
I know. Listen, I'm on the same page, but you got to pick. Kansas?
I would pick Kansas City.
Oh, listen. Okay, you're already starting off on the wrong foot, DJ. Jeez Louise. Okay, let's go.
Dude, I can't root for the Eagles, man. I cannot do it.
Okay. All right, DJ. So let's get it going.
I'm a Dolphins and a Cowboys fan. So I can't root for either one of these guys. But anyway, go ahead. Okay. Sorry.
So DJ, question for you. Hey DJ, who's Trump's daddy?
I'm assuming that you want me to say Elon Musk. Or,
no. I don't want you to.
Or the Heritage Foundation, because I heard you talking about that earlier. But
I mean,
I would say that the only people that Donald Trump is worried about pleasing is the American people, brother. That's the only people.
DJ, that's not right. That's not right.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it is. Santana.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
Sorry, bud.
Cool, absolutely. DJ, can you tell me something that Donald Trump has done while being in office this term that directly benefits the American citizens? Go.
All right. Well, you want to talk about the executive orders? You want to start with that?
Whatever you want.
All right. How about, let's see, withdrawing the United States from the ending, from the WHO, from other.
How does that benefit the United States? Hold on. So stick right there. You said, so removing the United States from the World Health Organization. How does that benefit the American public?
Because basically we're not wasting our tax dollars with it. We're not relying on information that's being provided by the WHO, which has been proven time and time again to either be number one, false, or number two, misleading.
Got it.
Do you remember the little thing we just went through with C-19, right?
I absolutely remember that,
okay,
DJ.
Cool. All right. Let's see. He's made serious progress on the southern border.
No. We're not off of that point. We're not off of that point. I was letting you speak as much as you want on that point because you said a lot that's incorrect, but I wanted you to be able to finish your thought.
Tell me what I said that was incorrect, Santana.
Sure, absolutely. First and foremost, the WHO is super beneficial, not only for the United States, but super important internationally, right? Because it's set up so we can actually share information across borders, right? And the reason why that's important,
we can't share information without the WHO. Is that what you're saying?
May I finish?
I'm just asking a question. I mean,
but no. Like I sat back and I let you actually talk. I wanted you to get everything out. Let me finish this thought, and then you can go from there.
My bad.
No worries. It's super important because it allows us to share that information across the board across without borders. And then it also keeps us from having to replicate things that have already been done. Meaning if that information is already shared, it's a repository of information as far as progress that's already been made. So one country doesn't have to start over. You can go from point to point to point if there's any type of issues. And when you talk about the things like C-19, which was absolutely devastating, you also look at additional things that are coming down the pipeline, things that are already here within the United States, like the bird flu. It's super important to be able to share those resources, that information, the history through other countries where they've been able to successfully identify those things. Donald Trump pulling us out of the WHO specifically isolates us from being able to share said information and have access to any type of information that's already been collected, while also putting the American public in danger. Donald Trump has been detrimental to the American public with removing us from WHO in conjunction while stopping places like the CDC from communicating about things like the bird flu.
Yeah, just like the C-19 was not come from the Wuhan lab.
What does that have to do with anything that I just said?
I'm just saying, all I heard for 4 years, it didn't come from a lab, and now
what does that have to do with anything that I just said? So are you saying that C-19 wasn't harmful?
It was harmful, but it was man-made.
Are you saying that C-19 it would have been better for us if we didn't share or have any information access or knowledge from other countries?
So you don't think because we don't belong to the WHO, we will not get this information day one? That's ridiculous.
What I'm saying is being disconnected from the World Health Organization puts us at a negative disposition where we are playing catch up. We're relying on our own information, and we have to actually work in a silo. Listen, when you have Donald Trump actually dismantling different government agencies like the CIA, like the FBI, all of our intelligence agencies that is responsible for collecting that information, in conjunction with actually dismantling places like USAID, where they're specifically in other countries and they gather additional information as well. When you dismantle all of those international reach programs that collects information and actually brings that information back to the United States, we are in a disadvantage. So if we do have another pandemic, or if there's something that's happening around the world, we don't have direct insight, so we can actually continue to respond at such a wide and rapid rate. The United States is a country where we supposed to be on the forefront and leading, and we rely on all of this information and those resources to be able to make sure they keep us safe. But when you remove us from said different organizations, it puts us at a deficit. That's my point.
I'm pretty confident that we can get any information that we need, whether we're part of the WHO or not.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that,
okay.
DJ, but
cool.
Listen, okay, I'll make it simple. DJ, you ever seen?
I think we broke it down to where
no.
Yeah.
So DJ, you ever seen like someone running track, right? And when they train with like the parachutes. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yep. Resistance training.
So when resistance training. So when they run with those parachutes, they're fast, right? I mean, they're gone. But then when they take the parachutes off and there's no resistance, they're even faster, right? So us being in the WHO is us running without that parachute. We can move quick. We can be agile. We can be fast. We can respond. We can predict. Us being outside of the WHO, we're still fast. We're still able to move. We're still able to predict, but we don't move as quickly because we have something holding us back. A lack of connection, communication, and community within the world slows us down. And when you talk about infectious disease or terrorist attacks or anything like that, minutes, seconds, day, like all of the time matters so much. And that's the point.
So are we running with the parachute with the WHO or without the parachute?
It's without the parachute, my friend. It's without. Okay. We're much
you're
faster
saying that the
working
WHO
as a team.
makes us faster.
Yes.
Am I using the correct analogy?
Yes.
Okay. So if we're reliant on using WHO, and well, tell me this. What about the WHO can we get that we do not have by being part of their organization?
We don't get access to that shared information as far as any type of.
So they're literally going to say, you know
Can I
what, the
finish my
United States
sentence?
of America does not
Can I
belong
finish
to
my
the
sentence?
WHO. We are
Can I
not going
finish
to
my
share this
sentence?
information with them.
Can I finish
Is that
my
what you're saying?
sentence? Can I finish my sentence?
Oh, I thought you were finished.
Nope.
Okay, go ahead.
We don't have access to shared information that allows us to actually build on anything that the actual governments of around the world have already started or currently working on.
Such as?
Such as if there is an infectious disease that was found, let's say specifically in, let's say Brazil, and just use Brazil for example. If
Cool.
there's an infectious disease that was found in Brazil, and Brazil has only shared that with the WHO because it's actually classified and it's something that they don't want to make public knowledge yet. If the United States is not a part of the WHO, they don't get that immediate information and immediate access to that infectious disease that is occurring in Brazil. Now, are they able to find out about said infectious disease and eventually start to move on it? Absolutely. But without having that partnership, any type of information that was one, found, and any type of progress, two, that was actually made and shared within the WHO, the United States either has to, one, recreate said information, or two, rely on secondhand information and try to collect that later. That's the point.
So you're telling me if they're, take your scenario, for example, they're not going to come to Big Bank America and want some money just
No,
because we're not in the WHO?
no,
I disagree with you.
I hear
can't-
you, but that's
prove
not
my
how this
point when
works.
You can't prove your point.
No, that's not how this works. I know you like to think that, oh, okay, just because, you know, big bank take little bank and the United States has all the money. The simple fact of the matter is when you talk about international affairs and you talk about governmental secrets and things like that, it's not just about money. Like it's not just about money. It's more about, and see, this is the problem that you guys had and the things that you don't understand. When Donald Trump actually took power, a lot of international communities made a decision right then and there that they were no longer going to share information with the United States because one, they think that Donald Trump is a liability, and two, they don't trust Donald Trump to actually honor their allies and partners. Look at what he's doing to Canada and Mexico. I mean, hell, he actually renegotiated the USMCA and immediately turned around in his second term and tried to break the agreement that he created. Donald Trump doesn't honor the actual partnerships that we have with our allies. So why would they actually share information with Donald Trump when he's not going to actually, one, share information with them, two, treat them in the right way, and three, might just turn around and give that information to Putin?
Santana, would you consider the United States to be one of the world leaders in medical information?
Yeah, I would. There's not much that I wouldn't consider the United States being one of the world leaders in.
Excellent.
I mean, that's
Okay.
why I think that they have a responsibility to actually lead said different initiatives.
You think if someone came to us that was a member of the World Health Organization and they said, you know what, we're looking into XYZ and we wanted to know what you guys, what do you guys know about it and can you help us with it? Do you think that we would deny them?
Possibly under the Trump administration, yes.
So you think we would deny requests from another country about some type of medical research?
Yes. Under the Trump administration,
And you're
absolutely yes.
And you're basing that
So-
opinion on what?
I'm
Have we
basing
done
that. I'm basing that opinion based off of Donald Trump and his precedents that he has set. The fact of the matter that Donald Trump doesn't even want
For
to
example.
actually support. I was going there. Donald Trump actually doesn't want to actually support members of NATO if they quote unquote don't pay their fair share. Donald Trump looks at things very transactional. Meaning if there is no monetary gain or if he feels like, quote unquote, something is unfair or we are being, quote unquote, taken advantage of, then he's not willing to actually help support anyone. So unless Donald Trump feels like this is going to be transactional and they're going to be beneficial to him or the United States, which let's be real, him, then he's not interested in actually helping and support. So unless if in your scenario, if the WHO, which the United States aren't a part of, if the WHO came out to the United States and said, hey, we need your help, Donald Trump would quite literally sit back and say, pay us for it.
Based on what?
Based off of his history, what he said, and also his actions.
Let me put this.
I mean, you know what, man? I could see how you draw that parallel. I really don't have an issue with that theory. Okay. The biggest problem, well, with your theory, but I don't think that's a reality. I think the reality is that Donald Trump stood up to NATO and said, hey, look, if you want the United States to participate in this, you guys got to participate as well. And I don't think that's an unfair request. And people like to bring up the fact that, well, since Biden got into office, so-and-so has been paying more and so-and-so has been paying more. But those all are a direct reflection of what happened in the previous administration. Would you disagree with that?
Say that last line for me one more time. I apologize.
Sure, no problem. So we were talking about NATO. And you're absolutely right. I don't see a problem with going to NATO and saying, you know what, we'll be happy to participate and we'll be happy to help you guys, but we expect you guys to participate as well. And you are starting to see now more and more countries in Europe are paying more of a fair share because they know that they have to step up, or the United States is going to back up.
Yeah. So listen, I don't think that there's a problem with demanding other countries pay their fair share. Like I don't see a problem. The problem I do have is when we try to hold our partners over a barrel instead of actually working and negotiating with them. That's the problem I have. So when you talk about not only NATO, right, but when you talk about Canada and Mexico, our neighbors to the north and south, we can negotiate and work with them. Are there certain times where I think you do need a firm hand and you can actually try to negotiate from a place of strength? Absolutely. But
I think we just saw a good example of that.
No, we absolutely didn't. We absolutely did not.
Colombia wasn't a good example of that.
No, absolutely not. And I can tell you why as well. But let me read these off real quick because I'm sorry, guys. Give me just a quick second. W's in the chat for Wendy. Wendy sent a $20 donation saying Happy Black History Month. Wendy, thank you so much for that $20 donation. Happy Black History Month to you as well. Thank you so much for that. Also, guys, W's in the chat for Debbie. Debbie sent a $5 donation. And Debbie said, sorry, hold on. Debbie sent a $5 donation saying, thank you for the facts. Absolutely, Debbie. Thank you so much for the donation and thank you for being here, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 150,000 likes. Let's go ahead and get to 150,000 likes. Also, can we knock out the little heart fingers, please? It's the daily live gift. If we can knock that out, that helps boost the live and push us out to the FYP and we can get more people in here. Please do that. And also send your daily heart me if you have not done so. It's only one coin. If you tap the little orange heart at the top of the screen and send the heart me, it's one coin. It helps boost the live. And last but not least, if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. We are talking to Trump supporters. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. We are only talking to Trump supporters. If you are not a Trump supporter, if you're a friendly, please do not request up. Please drop out of the box. I am not talking to friendlies. This is only Trump supporters that I'm talking to. All right. DJ, JW, would you guys like to give me the example, or would you like for me to give you the example of why I said that it was not successful, either with the northern and southern border negotiations or even Colombia? Which way do you guys want to go?
Please tell me how Colombia didn't work.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So what happened is with the actual threats and tariffs and things like that, Donald Trump placed on Colombia. Do you know who Colombia immediately turned to actually take said products so they wouldn't have to deal with the tariffs of the United States?
No, I don't.
Sure. They immediately pivoted to China. China, who has the second largest economy in the world, and China, who is actually working on creating a monetary system outside of the United States, outside of the US dollar. And so with them working to actually boost that currency that no longer goes through the US dollar, it strengthens that said currency when they have more trade partners willing to actually trade and actually spend money in that currency outside of the United States dollar. So not only are you strengthening China and their trade relations with Colombia, but you're also strengthening that additional currency, the BRIC, which if that actually replaces the United States dollar as the standard around the world, then our economy starts to collapse. It was a horrible decision and it's having backlash. That's why I said that was not a good thing.
All right, tell me, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said, Santana. What did Colombia deflect to China?
the actual products that were so the products that they don't want to sell to actually face the tariffs within the United States, they went to China and asked China to take these products and set up a deal to sell those products to offset the tariffs that were implemented by the United States.
Then why did they cave to Trump?
How did they cave to Trump?
We didn't implement the tariffs.
Oh, one at a time. So am I answering how did they cave to Trump, or are we talking about the implementation of the tariffs? Which one, guys?
Take your choice, man. Whatever one.
No. You guys tell me. I'll answer both. I just need to know what
I thought
answer.
that Trump backed off on the tariffs when they agreed to take the immigrants, correct?
Yeah, well, undocumented immigrants. It wasn't necessarily that the tariffs have actually been put in place, but this is the problem that other governments have. And this is the problem that other governments have, and also the world markets have. Donald Trump is so volatile with threatening tariffs. They don't know if or when he's actually going to implement tariffs. And so when you can't have that stability as a country, it's not a good thing. And Donald Trump threatening the tariffs in Canada and Mexico tanked the world markets, not the United States markets, not just the Dow or the not just the Dow or the NASDAQ. It tanked the world markets. And so Colombia realized that Donald Trump could at any time come back and say, I'm going to put those tariffs on you now. And so instead of actually just waiting for Donald Trump to come back and do that, they proactively did what was best for their country, their government, and their citizens, and found another trade partner that has more stability. And so they don't have to worry about those tariffs if Trump does come back and actually implement them.
I want to make sure we're clear. Is this speculation?
No, it's fact.
On your part? So you're saying that Colombia has actually said, you know what? We're going to stop trading with the United States. We're going to start trading. No.
I didn't say that
you're telling me?
I didn't say that they said they were going to stop. They didn't stop.
They weren't trading with China before any of this.
They set up a specific trade deal to actually be able to ensure the security of their trade via China in case things happen with the United States.
But they didn't actually implement it.
Yes, they did. Wait, who didn't implement? Let me just make sure I understand what you're saying.
No, sir. I want to make sure I understand as well. Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're saying they didn't implement that. Did they implement that trade deal with China?
Yes. Colombia. You're referring to Colombia, right?
Right. Then why did they agree to take the undocumented illegals, whatever you want to call them?
You're referring to why did the Colombia agree to get undocumented immigrants back from the United States?
Let me start this over. Maybe we're all confused. Trump wanted to send undocumented to Colombia. They refused. He threatened a tariff, and within an hour, they flew planes to pick them up. So you're saying that threat didn't work?
No, I'm not. And again, so one, when you talk about the actual taking back undocumented immigrants, there's a process, right? There's a process that actually occurs. And this is the problem that I have with...
Please don't go off a tangent. I understand all that. This is what happened in simple man terms.
Sure. This is what happens in simple man's term. Donald Trump actually tried to send undocumented immigrants back the wrong way. Colombia refused that wrong way. And they actually picked up the undocumented immigrants their own way, just like they had been doing before. That's what happened in simple man terms. It wasn't a cave. It wasn't something where it had to be negotiated. Donald Trump superseded the actual process of deporting any type of immigrants back to their country, and he tried to dehumanize them. And the president of Colombia said, we are not having that, not for my citizens. And he flew the presidential plane to pick up those Colombian people and bring them back to the United States. He would have took them regardless. Donald Trump tried to make a show of it and tried to humiliate, embarrass those people. And Colombia said, we will not have it. That's what happened.
So what else are you supposed to do than other put them on a plane and send them back? I'm sorry, I don't know what.
And that's why I tried to explain it to you. There's the problem that I have with Donald Trump and this administration is they're trying to break all the norms and actually the standards of what's being done. Oh, thank you so much for the galaxy, Hillary. With actually deporting anyone, with actually deporting anyone, and sending them back to those home countries, you actually arrange that with those countries and you put them on charter flights and you send them to those countries. Donald Trump actually loaded those Colombian people up into a military cargo plane in chains and then tried to ship them back to Colombia. That is absolutely insane. The Colombian president said, we don't do things like that, and you are not going to treat our citizens that way. That was the problem.
One of them was a murderer, he wouldn't be in chains, or unalive, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about any type of criminals and everything, yeah, of course you have to restrain those criminals. Question for you: there were 200 people on that flight that Donald Trump tried to send. How many out of those 200 people were criminals?
All of them were if they were here illegally.
Okay, you're trying to be funny with the terms.
No,
I get it.
I'm
Cool,
not.
cool.
No, I'm
Let
not.
me be specific then. Let me put this in layman's term. Out of those 200 people, how many people had been convicted of another crime outside of quote unquote entering the country illegally?
I don't know that information.
Sure, two people. 2 people out of 200. 2 people had committed a crime while in the United States. And so when you talk about actually putting people in chains, when you talk about putting people in chains, entering into the country, quote unquote, illegally is a misdemeanor that you get a fine. I'm not even a fine. You get a citation for. Like, it's not something where you even go to jail or whatever. So to put someone in handcuffs and in chains for what's essentially jaywalking based off of the law is absolutely insane. That's the problem.
I'll give you that. But would you agree the 2 should have been in chains?
Yes, if you talk about anyone who actually has committed a crime and is a danger to other people, yes, you have to restrain them. I completely agree. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Donald Trump took 200 Colombian citizens and tried to make a spectacle of them by putting them all in not only handcuffs, but chains around their waist, chains around their wrists, chains around their legs. And then he put them on a military plane, a cargo plane, which cost $700,000 to actually do, and then fly them out without even making the proper contact with the Colombian government to let them know, hey, we're bringing these people back. He didn't do the right things to actually get these people back into the country. He just wanted to make a show of it.
But my only defense of the chains, you got 200 people on a plane with what? Maybe eight people running the plane. You don't think those 200 people are going to be pissed off and upset, and you have a right to chain them to protect yourself?
My guy, you think that someone they're gonna be so upset that they're gonna what? Hijack the plane? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, yeah, you got to protect. You don't think those 200 people were pissed off beyond all belief that they're getting kicked out of the country?
Well, if we're gonna keep it funky, I don't think that they're necessarily pissed off, because it's not hard for them to get back in the country. Listen, I'm gonna be completely real with you.
It's hard now, brother.
Hold on, no, it's not, and that's what I was just about to say. There are certain undocumented immigrants that have been deported under the Trump administration, and they've already made it back into the United States.
You sound happy about that, man.
No, I'm telling you is that it's a stupid initiative where if you wanted to be earnest about it, there's proper ways to go about it to actually help. I personally think that if the way that we fix undocumented immigrants coming into the country, or whatever the case may be, is by making sure that we create a pathway to citizenship. We do things that actually allows those people to be successful when they come to the country and enter the country, and also allow us to capitalize on it so we can actually put them to work, and we can actually increase our.
We all want that.
No, Donald Trump doesn't. Donald Trump doesn't.
Absolutely does. Absolutely.
Sure.
Dude,
Okay, if you say,
I'll put it to you in simple terms.
wait. Hold on. No, because DJ said this. If Donald Trump wanted that, if the Trump administration wanted that, why did Donald Trump cancel thousands of applications that have been approved for immigrants coming into the southern border to actually see the immigration lawyers and go through the proper process to get into the country?
You're talking about the app. You're talking about the phone app, right?
CBP1, yes. CBP1, absolutely.
The unvetted being turned loose in this country through that phone app.
How were they unvetted?
Because they went on that phone app and said, hey, I'm going to be there at 1:30. Okay, you got to be at court in 2027.
That's not true. That's absolutely not true. That's
How is it
absolutely
not
not
true?
true. The CBP1 app allows them to do kind of what you said, in the sense of it's an application process so they can actually get a court date set up. It's an initial hearing where they go through said vetting. They let them know, hey, I'm claiming asylum. And they say, cool, all right, we've checked this information. We verified the fact that you're claiming asylum. You can go into the country. Now, this is going to be your official court date to see if you can stay within the country. That's what the CBP1 app did. It's the proper process and application when it comes to asylum seeking, so they can actually do it. It just sped it up. That's all it did. It sped up the paper process. It took the bureaucracy out of what was being done. And for people that complain that there's too much red tape in the federal government and there's too much bureaucracy, you guys sure like that when it comes to immigration.
Yeah, because it protects American families.
What?
It protects America. I don't care how much it costs.
What protects America? So what paperwork? How is having physical paperwork versus doing something electronically protecting American families?
How many unvetted illegals are in this country?
Undocumented immigrants. I'm not sure. We can try to find the numbers, but what does that have to do with the question that I just asked?
You were saying Republicans bitch about big government, but when it comes to this, we don't. And I was saying, no, I don't spend my money on something that's going to protect Americans. Let's say we got 2 million unvetted in this country. Just throw that number out, or 1,000. Let me put it to you like this. If I give you a bowl of M&Ms with 100 in them and 10 of them would kill you, would you eat any M&Ms out of that bowl?
Yes.
You would eat M&Ms if 1 out of 10 could kill you.
No, slap nuts. So what I would actually do, because in your actual analogy, it's flawed, because in that same situation, what we're talking about is, I know that there's 100 M&Ms in the bowl and 10 of them can kill me, but you're telling me, all right, the 10 that can kill you are the blue M&Ms. Then I just wouldn't eat the blue M&Ms. That's the point. That's what the CBP1 app actually does, is it sets up the process. It allows you to take that information and actually vet it and know, oh, these are the bad M&Ms and these are the good M&Ms. So I'm going to sit these M&Ms to the side. I'm going to reject these M&Ms. People going through that process of utilizing the CBP1 app was vetted. And if they failed that vet process, then they were told they can't enter the country. That's the point.
Well, then in your scenario, there shouldn't be a single unvetted, undocumented in this country, yet there is.
No, that's not what I'm saying, because we do understand that people come into the country and they don't go through the CBP1 app. They don't go through the process of claiming asylum. We do understand that even there's some people that get into the country. You guys don't like to talk about the actual undocumented immigrants, like, let's say, Elon Musk, people that come in on work visas or student visas or whatever, and they overstay and they don't leave once their actual visas or whatever expired, and then they're undocumented immigrants within the country. So that happens as well. But then the reason why I think like the wall is stupid is because there's tunnels, there's ways to climb the wall. So there's a whole bunch of different stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I was specifically speaking to the process that's in place that Donald Trump denied, which is the quote unquote legal process. And Donald Trump doesn't want those people coming into the country. You can talk about the CBP1 app, or you can even talk about him actually rejecting refugees, which is a process that we have, him turning around refugees and not letting them into the country.
So he's turned around a guy that's come into a legal port of entry.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Where's the proof that he's turned one back from a legal port, not somebody running across the border?
He canceled the CBP1 app while people were at the border waiting to go in because they had court dates. He also turned around a flight that had refugees on it, specifically 200 or 2,000 something refugees that were coming from Iraq, which, well, yeah, no, I'm sorry, not Iraq, Afghanistan. I apologize. Coming from Afghanistan that we have an agreement with to take said refugees. People that were doing stuff, quote unquote, the right way. Donald Trump has stopped them and not allowed them into the country.
Fine, I agree with you there. But I didn't like the phone app. I'll just say that right now.
I don't care. You didn't like the phone app because they told you didn't like the phone app. You didn't know anything about the phone app until we just started talking. You thought you knew something about the phone app, but you didn't know anything about it. You just didn't like it because the Trump administration said it was bad.
No, the Trump administration. I watched, what was his name? Maracas, the DHS secretary up there, just get grilled in front of Congress over this.
Okay,
You know, I'm
cool.
talking about the bald-headed dude. What's his name?
Mayorkas.
Yeah, Mayorkas. You not agree that he just didn't get his ass handed to him in front of Congress?
I think there are a lot of people that get their quote unquote ass handed to them in front of Congress, which is super important. I think accountability is important. I think that our Congress should hold everyone accountable, all of our officials, and make sure that everything is above board. No one is above reproach to me. So anyone getting their quote unquote ass handed to them by Congress, in my opinion, great thing.
But let me ask you a question. You obviously support undocumented immigration. What's your
I
cutoff?
support immigration,
cutoff
period.
number?
Don't
Okay,
say that I support
immigration.
undocumented immigration.
What's your cutoff number?
I
The
don't
number
have
of
one.
people-
I genuinely don't. Listen, I'm the wrong person to have this conversation with, because I don't think, one, I think borders are bullshit. Sorry, that's my opinion. Also,
So how many of you
two,
have living with you? Why do you think our house prices are out of reach right now?
our house prices are out of reach because Donald Trump destabilized our house prices are out of reach because Donald Trump destabilized the housing market through deregulation in his first term. He actually overturned the regulation that allowed corporations to not only have a moratorium as far as how long they have to wait to purchase houses, but he also eliminated the regulation that allows them to actually bid on houses. So corporations, once he did that, corporations went into neighborhood and bought up entire neighborhoods. And there was a house that's worth $200,000. A corporation was able to come in and say, "Oh, we're going to buy this entire house. Instead of paying you $200,000 for it, we're going to pay $300,000 for it." They did that entire neighborhoods, and that's why corporations own a vast amount of single-family homes within the United States. Donald Trump deregulated the housing market and also deregulating the rental market. So that's why our housing market is out of reach. It's not because of immigration. It's about deregulation under the Trump administration.
So immigration had zero to do with it, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying zero, because to say zero is an actual number that I'm not willing to commit to. What I'm saying is that's not the underlying factor. That's not the major reason.
What percentage would you say?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna put a percentage on that. I will say that the majority, I contribute majority of the actual issue to where we are in the housing market right now, to the deregulations that Donald Trump put in place. Now, you can also talk about inflation, and you can talk about the interest rate that had to be added because of C-19. There's multiple factors when it comes to the housing market, when it comes to the renting market, all of these other things. But what I'm saying is Donald Trump played a big part in this, and it was way more impactful than anyone coming across the border. That's what I'm saying.
How did C-19 cause the rise in interest rates?
Sure. C-19 actually caused inflation. Inflation directly impacts the interest rates when it comes to the housing market, and what the Fed is willing to actually do with the inflation rate. The Fed actually dictates the inflation rate. I'm sorry, the interest rate based off of inflation to counteract it.
Can I ask you a question?
So Biden's policies had nothing to do with that. It was simply C-19.
Biden policy has nothing to do with interest rates. Is that what you're referring to?
With inflation. With inflation.
No, not specifically, but his actual his actual American Rescue Plan did stem some additional inflation while it was trying to actually decrease inflation, just like the Tax Cuts and Job Act actually stemmed inflation as well. So there's multiple factors that contributed to inflation. But the biggest thing that contributed to inflation was the fact that C-19 occurred. It also was an issue with supply chain because of C-19, which impacted the supply and demand. And then adding that with greedflation and also shrinkflation. It's like shrinkflation this is a Gatorade. This used to be like this big, like the bigger bottles, and it used to cost the same price. companies like PepsiCo realized that they could sell these same products at a lower cost, at the same price with a smaller amount. And so that's shrinkflation. Greedflation is understanding that there was a supply chain issue. They were able to charge more, and they realized that C19 was happening and they could charge more. And instead of them actually saying, oh, well, we're going to charge $3 for this product, they said, we're going to charge $4 for this product. So they added additional costs on top of the costs needed to subside with the supply chain. And then even once the supply chain issues were fixed, they didn't reduce the cost. And it was actually admitted, going back to what you guys said, there was the executive for Kroger was quote unquote grilled on the House floor by Congress and admitted that they actually inflated said prices. And it was an organized event throughout multiple corporations.
Very good, man. You're really good at reading that off. That's awesome.
Hey man, can I
didn't read anything,
can I ask you a question? Why do you think your side
Sure.
lost?
Can I read this off though? Because I didn't read anything, so there's that. But W's in the chat for Jessica.
If you spouted that off from memory, that's awesome, dude. That's great. You do a good job on the Discord. They should be proud of you. That's great.
On the Discord, what are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about on your Discord. You know where you're getting your points and where you get your information, that kind of thing. So you don't operate off of a Discord.
Yeah, I have a Discord, but I'm not getting any information from anywhere. No, you're absolutely wrong.
Okay.
I'm literally not getting any information off of anything. I'm literally just talking to you. There's nothing that I've had to look up.
From your own research. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's good, man. That's good for you. That's
know how much time this is the funny thing about, and I tell people this all the time, right? People think for some reason, because there's a huge difference between getting in the guest box and actually hosting a live.
Totally
and for some
agree.
reason,
totally agree.
For some reason, people think that we just get up here and we just talk and it's whatever. But I spend so much time reading multiple articles, looking up information, watching interviews, watching press conferences. I consume this information. I drive my wife insane with the amount. Every time we get into the car, I'm listening to a Trump speech or an interview. I'm listening to the press secretary. I stay up at night. Last night, after I got off live for 2 hours straight, I sat here and read and actually got more information. No, I don't rely on people. Now, yes, in certain situations, my Discord will actually send me resources or documentation if I'm looking for something and I can't find it. And I also have my Googles up. I have 1 million tabs up right now. But when I'm sitting here talking about this stuff, it's because I do this day in, day out, and you guys don't say anything that I haven't actually heard or went through. Now, there might be new information that comes up that I haven't actually been able to digest. And that's when I do Googles and I pull stuff up. I don't have a problem with actually, talking to that. But as of right now, there's nothing that you guys have said that I've had. Actually, hold on. There is one thing that I looked up. And that was when I was looking up the actual to ensure the agreement that was in place with Colombia and China. But besides that, everything else, I've just been sitting here actually talking to you guys.
No, I just found the thing about Colombia and China.
Sure. But give me 1 second. Let me read this off. W's in the chat for Jessica. Jessica sent a $10 donation saying, thank you for educating the uneducated. Much love, my friend. Thank you so much for that $10, Jessica. You are absolutely amazing and absolutely far too kind. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Can we keep tapping the screen, guys? We're almost at 200,000 likes. Please, please, please keep tapping the screen, share the live out, do all the wonderful things. And I just want to give a quick shout out again to Twitch and YouTube, because we are live on Twitch and YouTube right now. What up, Twitch? What up, YouTube? Guys, make sure you're following me on all the social media sites. All right, what do you guys have? And also, just the FYI, if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are not a Trump supporter, please do not request up. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. We are only talking to Trump supporters. We are not talking to friendlies. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. Barmastem, how do you say your username? Barrowstem 15? Barrowstem 15, is that you? All right, I'm gonna drop you down. Sorry.
My question is, why do you think your side lost?
Sure, I can definitely answer that one.
Without saying something about Trump.
Sure. No, I have nothing to say about Trump as far as the Democrats losing. So as far as the actual Democrats losing and Kamala Harris losing the election, it's due to a couple of different factors. One, just being completely honest, the United States population is dumb, right? The United States population doesn't understand that inflation was not caused by the Biden-Harris administration. They completely attribute inflation to the Biden-Harris administration while not understanding that it was a global event. And the Biden-Harris administration led the United States to one of the most successful rebounds, not one of the most successful rebound of any G7 country. Now that's part of it. The other part of it, let's keep it funky. The United States of America is a racist and sexist country. And so the United States of America was not willing. You gonna let me finish?
Yeah, if you'll let me return.
Oh, I absolutely will. The United States of America was unwilling to actually put a black woman in a position of power, understanding that the actual patriarch is connected to said power. So putting a black woman in the highest position in the land would directly contradict said patriarch that occurs within the United States. That's why you see people like white men showing up and voting in the highest numbers ever for Donald Trump to protect said patriarch. One second before you respond. Hi, or what was that?
Hayabusa, man. It's a motorcycle anyways.
Hayabusa.
Yeah.
Can I call you
Yeah,
Pilot? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Pilot, are you a Trump supporter?
No, I'm not.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to drop you down, friend. Listen, only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Guys, please respect my boundaries. I am not talking to friendlies. If you are a friendly, you can definitely put a comment in the chat. You can even directly message one of my mods and they'll get the message to me. You can join on Late Nights with Santana. DJ has been on Late Nights with Santana. It's a panel discussion where there's multiple people that actually talk. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you want to actually get a message across to me directly, you can always send a donation and I will read that message off as well. W's in the chat for Whitney. Whitney sent a $20 donation. Thank you so much for that donation. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter. DJ, you wanted to respond, or who wanted to respond to what I said?
I find it offensive that you call a country uneducated.
Okay.
I own a construction company,
Mhm.
and I respect you. You're 1,000 times smarter than me on this issue. Do you agree that 75–80% of the people in this country couldn't name a policy?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why they're uneducated.
And
The United States of America is one of the lowest ranked.
I just wanted you to answer yes or no on that.
Yeah, the United States education system is in shambles. Our country doesn't actually invest money in our STEM programs, mathematics. Our kids are any type of when it comes to education based off of what we should actually do. We the United States, most people within the United States are functioning illiterate, and also they don't have an actual desire to actually research. They don't do critical thinking, and they don't actually verify things. So yes, the United States public as a whole, we're dumb. And I don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's everyone else. I'm including myself in that because I'm a part of it. The United States populace as a whole, we are dumb.
Right, but what I was saying, you agree with me, 75–80% of people in this country couldn't name a policy. It doesn't make you dumb.
No, that doesn't make you dumb. But actually hearing something, you know what makes you dumb though, Jay? If someone tells you that, if they say something like, oh, there's people in Springfield, Ohio, Haitian migrants eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio. And instead of the normal person saying, oh, that sounds wild, let me actually find out about that, they immediately take that information and say, holy shit, they're eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio. That's why they're dumb, because they lack that critical thinking where they actually are trying to push themselves to be educated and actually understand things versus just going off of what they heard. That's why I say that.
Okay, back to my point I've been trying to get out.
Sure.
75–80% of people don't really care about politics in the country.
Also, please stop putting numbers on stuff. If you can't quantify the numbers, don't put numbers on it.
I'm just saying as a general, and you agreed with me.
You can say more people than not. Like I can agree with that, but just don't put a number.
Okay, fine. We don't have to give a number.
I'm funny about numbers. I'm sorry.
Me too in my construction business, but they look at the president as the boss of America, just like my employees look at me as a boss.
Absolutely.
When the economy went to crap under Biden,
It didn't.
that's why they voted. I know it wasn't his fault. You can go and all that, but my point is, I've got several Democrats that work for me, and they know I'm a strong conservative. And I was talking to them after election. They come to me and they said, the Democratic Party is just not for me anymore. It's only for the elitist. That's coming straight from Democrats' mouth. Would you agree with that? That your party is leaning more to the elitist than the common working man?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Why did you lose 10 voters that work for me?
Sure, I'll tell you why. I can answer that question. Also, real quick, Alter Throne, are you a Trump supporter?
No, sir. I don't know, but I'm not. You can bring me down because
Perfect.
I didn't do it.
No worries. Thank you so much, friends. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the live likes up. We're almost at 200,000 likes. Let's get it up to 250,000 likes. Let's also get the shares up to 400 shares. And guys, last but not least, if you're friendly, if you want to get a message across, or if you want to donate, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Thank you for anything that you do. Now, the reason why I said I disagree, and even more why your people willing to say that, is because, again, they don't understand civics. They don't understand how the government works, and they also don't understand what's happening. You combine that with a party like the Democratic Party who doesn't know how to brag. That's straightforward, super simple. They don't know how to brag. They have no showmanship. They have no understanding as far as saying, yeah, we did that, right? I'll give you this example. 2017, Donald Trump's first year in office. Donald Trump came into office in 2017 and said, we have the best economy in the world, and that's because of me. Donald Trump told the truth and lied at the same time. In 2017, we absolutely had the best economy in the world. Wasn't because of him. In 2017, he had just taken office and he had just transitioned. We just transitioned from the Obama administration to the Trump administration, and Donald Trump didn't implement any type of policy, legislation. He didn't do anything that actually affected the economy. He just took the actual handoff from Barack Obama and then celebrated. But people said, oh, Donald Trump came out and he said that he's the reason for this economy. You know what? This economy is good. I know the economy is good. Donald Trump said he's the reason. So yeah, I think that he's absolutely the reason. And then you look at other things like the stimulus check that was actually given after C-19, right? Donald Trump, one, pushed back on it. Two, didn't want to approve it. The actual Democratic Party led by Nancy Pelosi in the House is what pushed those funds through so American citizens could get the actual stimulus checks. You know what Donald Trump did after he pushed back on it and didn't want to actually approve it?
Took credit for it like any politician would.
He stopped. Listen, this is something I will always give Donald Trump credit for. Donald Trump is an amazing marketing mind. Absolutely amazing. I think he's a horrible businessman. I think he's a horrible politician. I think he's a horrible person. But when it comes to marketing, God damn it, Donald Trump, he knows how to brand. He knows where to put his name on things. And Donald Trump stopped those stimulus checks, delayed those stimulus checks, and put his signature on it before they went out. And so the American population, who doesn't want to critically think, who doesn't want to research, who has no interest in actually finding out what's actually happening, got those payments, got those checks, and saw Donald Trump's name on it and immediately said, Donald Trump sent me a check. Correct. So the Democratic Party did not brag on any of their successes under the Biden-Harris administration. They didn't brag on the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act, the infrastructure bill.
Calling us racist, threat to democracy.
Say it again. So I'm sorry. Start over. Say it again.
Your side was too busy calling all Republicans racist and threats to democracy. I heard that for the last 8 years. Mm-hmm. You don't think that turns off the average American?
Maybe a little bit, but again.
Okay, let me
that wasn't the.
I would say the election says different than that, more than a little bit.
I hear you. No. Well, so This is the
I mean,
thing, right?
what your side did to Joe
You guys,
Biden was
you guys asked me a question. Am I going to answer the question, or you want me to go ahead and pivot with you before answering the question?
you kind of get long-winded with your answers, but go ahead.
I do. I like to
show.
pontificate sometimes. I'm not even going to hold you. I do like to pontificate. But
what's your show? You do you.
What I was saying is that they specifically, yes, I think the Democratic Party spent too much time putting too much emphasis on Donald Trump, not necessarily the voters. Right. I do think that there were certain certain people within like social media and all this other stuff that were specifically saying you are racist, you are sexist, all this other stuff. I never said that unless I had a personal interaction with anyone. Like you two have been up here.
The whole country was racist. You just said the whole country was racist.
Yeah. No. The country is based in racism and sexism. Absolutely. Again, I'm not saying you individually. But the principle and the foundation of this country was built off the back of slaves. The Constitution was created for was created for white men that were landowners. It wasn't created for women. It wasn't created for people of color. It was created specifically for white men that were landowners. So yes, this country is deeply rooted within racism and sexism. That's why I said that.
That's a whole nother discussion, but please move on.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm just giving you information about why I said that.
Okay,
but
that's cool. But our side's seen it as for day after day. Oh, if you support Trump, you're a MAGA racist.
And see, listen, and that's the part that I wanted to clarify, right? If someone said that they're absolutely wrong, and maybe they just didn't have the ability to actually explain that. If you vote or support Donald Trump, you are not necessarily a racist, a sexist, or any of those things. I don't think that either one of you are racist. I don't know if you're sexist. I mean, but because I'm a man, but I am a black man, and you two have both been up here and we've shown each other nothing but the utmost respect. You guys haven't done or said anything that would give me an inkling to think that you guys are racist, right?
Right.
But what I will say is by you voting for and supporting Donald Trump, that means that you're okay with racism. And the reason why I say that it's not a deal breaker for you, it's not a line in the sand, is because Donald Trump is a racist, and he also has the backing of racists. Whether we talk about the Proud Boys, whether we talk about the Triple K, whether we talk about neo-Nazis, like all of those people actually support Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has openly to this day been racist. And so I'm not saying that you're racist, but I'm saying it's not a deal breaker for you. That's what I'm saying.
We'll agree to disagree.
Back to my
I hate
point.
that term so much. I hate that term so much.
I hate it as well. But this is your show, Santana. I hate it as well.
Answer this for me. We were called threat to democracy.
Yes.
What your side did to Joe Biden was the biggest threat of democracy I ever seen.
That's absolutely not true.
Well, let me finish my point. If they did that to a Republican, I would never vote Republican again the rest of my life.
Sure, that's your personal perspective.
All I heard from Joe Biden is, I'm in it to win it. I'm not going anywhere. They saying he was tanking in the polls, losing his mind. I mean, if that was my
I don't know. I can't agree with that. We're not medical professionals. I'll agree with the other stuff, but I refuse to agree with that one.
Let me ask you, if that was your grandpa on stage at the debate, you wouldn't be ashamed. You wouldn't go out there and say, hey, man, let's go home.
Yeah, I absolutely would, with him and also with Donald Trump, with both of them. But my point that I'm making is this: I have a problem with people saying that he has quote unquote dementia or he's mentally declining. No, I absolutely push back on that with him and with Donald Trump, because we're not medical professionals. We haven't actually diagnosed him. We have no access to his actual files, so we can't say whether he is or is not technically in mental decline or has dementia or anything like that. What we can say is that they're old men and they're losing a step, and it shows, which I think is true. So that's why I push back on that. I'm not comfortable with diagnosing anyone.
But back to my point is they made Biden step aside. You could say, oh no, he agreed to. I mean, 2 days before he did, he said he's in it to win it. But let me ask you an honest question. Do you think if Joe Biden had come in day one and said, man, I'm only running 4 years. That's it. I'm not going to get reelected. I'm doing my 4 years and I'm out. You honestly think Kamala would have been your candidate?
Kamala.
Sorry, my poor Southern. I'll say Miss Harris so I don't offend nobody. You honestly think she would have been your candidate.
Maybe. Let me do this real quick. Breaking. Are you a Trump supporter?
No, I am. Well, I am an independent. Let me say that.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
No, sir, I did not. I did not.
No worries. Thank you so much, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are someone that supported Donald Trump. You voted for Donald Trump. I am not interested in talking to any friendlies or independents or anything like that. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters, and we are only talking to people that support Donald Trump. Redeem one. Are you a Trump supporter?
Oh, hell yeah. You already know it.
Okay, perfect. Hold tight for me 1 second. Hey,
JW, I'm going to take off Santana so you can get these other guys up. Thanks for having me up, man.
No worries. Wait, DJ, did you ask the question or was that JW?
That was JW.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, DJ. I appreciate you.
Take care, man.
So, yep, thank you. JW, so to answer your question specifically, the problem that I have is that Joe Biden broke the contract that he made with the Democratic voters when we voted for him in 2020, right? Joe Biden said, I'm going to be a one-term president. He said that I am going to be a bridge to the next generation. So people voted for Joe Biden under the expectation that he was going to be a one-term president, right? And I don't know who would have been the next candidate or who would. I can't say it would have been Kamala. I can't say that it wouldn't have been, Pete Buttigieg or Gavin Newsom or whoever. I don't know. That's all speculation. I don't know. But he originally said that he was going to be a one-term president. He said that he was going to be a bridge. And then he turned around and immediately said, actually, I have unfinished business. And that rubbed a lot of the Democratic voters the wrong way. I know how you guys like to say, oh, Kamala Harris wasn't elected and that was a travesty and blah, 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 blah. People that vote Democrat honestly don't give a shit about that. People that vote Democrat did not care about that. What they did care more about was Joe Biden lying to us, because I thought that.
Then why didn't you beat him in the primaries?
Because you don't unseat a current presidential candidate in the primary. That just doesn't happen. Come on now.
But you could have if you're.
You're absolutely right. If there was an actual valid primary candidate that stepped up, take a look at the people that actually ran. No serious political competition ran against Joe Biden in the primary.
I know what you're saying, but man, I got to run to it. It's been a great pleasure chatting with you. I respect your room, the way you run it, and everything. We can disagree. We can disagree, but we're both
saying. Oh, I thought you was gonna say agree to disagree. I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm like you. That, and it is what it is. Drives me more crazy than anything on the earth.
Yeah.
All right. You have a nice day.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, guys, keep tapping the screen. Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 250,000 likes. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 250,000 likes. Also, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimmy Trump, get in the box. If you are a friendly, keep tapping the screen. Do all the wonderful things so we are able to actually continue to have these debates and these conversations. Hey, Red One.
Hey, what's up, Redeem? It's Redeemed.
Redeem. I'm sorry, Redeem.
I appreciate you, bro.
No worries,
is the one below me? Who is that below me?
Oh, that's my backup account. That's my backup account.
I was just asking. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Redeem, I got a question for you.
What's up?
Who's Trump's daddy?
I don't know his name, bro. I really don't, man. I don't know his name.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I need to be a little bit more specific to help you out with this one. We know for a fact there's President Musk, right? But we also know that he's been bending the knee for Bibi. He's also always been Putin's puppet, but now he's also the Heritage Foundation's whore, right? But then he has his billionaire bosses. So I guess a better question would be, how can one man serve many masters?
So I don't want to agree to all that. I mean, I'm not saying that you're saying that. What is the BB, by the way?
Bibi Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you, okay, man. I'm so glad she didn't stay up, bro. I hate to be like that, bro. But when that look. I mean, is she gonna come back up?
Why?
Is she gonna come back up?
Why? What?
Man, because I like it when I can go talk to a person directly instead of getting interrupted, bro. I hate to be like this, but I get interrupted a lot of times when women are up here. That's not misogynistic.
You said that you get interrupted a lot when women are up here.
My own experience. I have been interrupted a lot, and I don't want emotion. I don't want emotion to play a factor.
Oh, okay. So you say women interrupt and they also are emotional. So
Interrupt me. A lot of liberal women interrupt me.
Oh, a lot of liberal women interrupt you and they are emotional. So that's what you. Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying, hey, I'm just telling you. Look, as a man, you're a man.
All
right, you're a man. I'm a man. All right, logic and truth run this, not emotion. That's what I'm trying to say.
So
if women are emotional in nature.
Oh, so you think that women are more emotional than men?
Look, that's the way that God made them, Santana. I mean, that's not a bad thing. They got their place to be emotional.
So you think that women?
Why do you gotta make it? Look, why do you gotta make it to me being a villain? Let's just be real. Let's be truthful. Who did we run to whenever we were crying as little kids to comfort us? Usually
the more emotionally intelligent parent.
Okay, so you look at it like intelligence. I look at it like that's
it's emotional intelligence.
I look at that as their nature. I don't look at that as
I hear you. Hey, hold on a second. What up, Jess?
What up, Santana?
Oh man.
Oh, Jess, did you hear what he said?
I heard that. That is wild.
That is nasty work, Jess.
Jessica, y'all are geared to be more feminine.
Hold on one second, Redeem. Hold on one second, Redeem, because I would be remiss if I didn't do this. Chat, drop some motherfucking coconuts in the chat for Jessica Simone. Drop some motherfucking coconuts in the chat for Jessica Simone. Guys, if you don't know, this is my sister. This is my good friend. This is Jessica Simone, one of the most intelligent people that I know, quite literally head and shoulders above your boy Santana. If you enjoy me, you are going to love Jessica Simone. So there's 920 something people hanging out right now. If you are not following Jessica Simone for some weird reason, 1, make sure you follow her. 2, make sure you check out her lives. 3, watch her work. With that being said, Jess, you got a little while to hang out with us. Is that okay?
Yeah, I got a little time because I'm
because Jess, that was wild. It was out of pocket.
That was crazy.
That was nasty work.
Hey, but we need to tell the truth every once in a while. People.
Sure. Okay. Speak your truth, friend. So we got Jessica Simone up here, and I am actually going to let Jessica lead because I think. Hold on. I'm going to let Jessica lead because I think that women are better leaders. But also, 2, I understand that gender. I understand that gender doesn't actually dictate intelligence or leadership. When you have someone that is quite literally better at doing something, it doesn't matter what they have or don't have in between their legs. It matters on their actual ability and skill. And when I tell you Jessica Simone can dog walk you without any input from me, I mean it. Anyway.
Well, I mean, like I said, you like the Discord. I mean, that's what gets the numbers. That's what gets the money, bro. I understand. But the truth is, bro, that's their nature, and God made them that way, and I'm okay with, and they should be okay with that. There's nothing wrong with that, man.
So tell me, how many videos do they have of women smashing their TVs when their favorite football team loses?
Well, hold on. How many videos of doing what?
Yeah, they have compilations of men smashing their TVs when their favorite football team loses, smashing the walls.
Yes. Well, yeah, those are crazy people. I mean, what do you mean to do about it?
Emotional, right? You got men are emotional.
Right. Yeah, there's emotion. That's yeah, that's there. It's there.
So most of the wars that we've been in, who have they been led by?
Hold on. Ask that again.
Most of the wars in the world, who have they been led by? Men or women?
Oh, men.
Right. And getting emotional. You can't even communicate and work out a deal. You have to fight. Right? The statistics on women being unalived by their partners, is it usually the woman unaliving the man or the man unaliving the woman because she don't want to be with him?
I say it's more of the men doing that to the women.
Okay, the majority of serial unalivers, men or women?
Men.
So it sounds like you guys are emotional. You can't handle rejection. You can't handle a woman leaving you. You can't handle your.
Well, Jessica, you got to realize that it's the exception for a man to be that way. It's not the rule. Yeah, I would say that most men need to be logical thinkers, though, and speak truth. I mean, and I think that we need to sit down and we have the discussion here.
So you think it's logical?
If y'all are up for that, Jess,
I'd
I like to call them. Hold on one second, I like to call them emotional, right? Because they have their own subcategory of emotions. They're emotional. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jess.
So if you can't handle rejection, you can't handle a woman leaving you. A lot of people voted for Donald Trump because they wanted to stick it to the woman. The woman told you, your mom, told you to shut up when you were young, and you've been trying to get back at her for the longest. You can't communicate. So why is it that allegedly we're the ones that are emotional, and you're saying that you're logical? Do you think it's logical to beat a woman, to unalive a girl when she wants to leave you? Do you think the answer is always war?
Hold on, this like that's not something I'm into. I mean, I don't want to do that, right? You're talking about men who are doing that, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. Don't put me in the mix of that, please, because I'm not part of that.
So now you don't want to be in the mix of
all
of the women, but you want to put me and say that I'm like all of
no, Jessica, I didn't say it's you.
When you got on here, you said y'all are this and y'all are that.
So Jessica, you're asking these questions because you're offended, right?
I'm not offended.
All right, can we get to talking about some truth right now? I mean, and yes, you have a good point.
Well, wait 1 second, because I feel like you came up and you started with inaccuracies, and all that Jessica Simone is trying to do is get us back to zero, which we have not gotten there yet. You quite literally can't address any of her points. You can't refute any of her points. You said that women, right? And so you generalize women. And you elevated quote unquote men over women, and Jessica Simone has busted your ass on every point so far. So if you're willing to admit that, one, you're wrong, and two, that actually women have the
I'm
ability.
not wrong about my experience that I've had on.
So is your okay? So are we talking about your individual experience?
Yeah,
so we're talking about anecdotal shit. Yeah. But okay, so if we're gonna talk about your individual experience, please make sure that you use that caveat and denounce the fact that in general,
that's what I said.
In general,
I said from my experience. I said
you said in your experience that liberal women like to actually interrupt you, which one, Jessica Simone hasn't interrupted you at all.
Crazy,
but two, you then categorize all women talking about how they were emotional and they don't work from a place of logic. Then Jessica Simone literally came up here. Jessica, you did say that. You did say that.
Their natural nature.
You said that. You said that, and then Jessica Simone came up here very emotionless, and logically dismantled your argument with multiple point statistics and gently walked your hand to a conclusion. So if you can actually admit that you were wrong, we can start at zero and then we can move forward.
I am not wrong about my individual experience.
I'm not talking about your individual experience. I'm talking about the generalization that you put out. You generalize women.
Santana, I'm not gonna say that God.
You generalize women. Can you just admit that you were wrong?
Santana, women are designed different. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Again, you're generalizing, and then Jessica Simone just broke down why you were wrong.
Well, I mean,
and you can't even wait. Are you so insecure as a man that you can't even admit that you were wrong?
Hold on, Santana. I'm not gonna say a lie that God did not design women differently. I'm not gonna say that.
Can you? Okay, you're saying that is not a lie. So refute what Jessica Simone just said to you. Then,
look. The only defense that I said is that that is the exception of most men in this nation. It is not the rule. What I'm trying to say is that there are many men who do some horrible things out of emotion. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Okay. So then,
and I'm not saying all men.
If you're saying that that's many, if you're saying that that's many men, then you're saying that's the standard for men.
Men are emotional.
No, I didn't say anything is the standard. I said
men
that
are
is
emotional.
The exception.
Men are emotional. You coming to say
no.
Women are emotional.
Men get emotional all the time. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Hey, as a matter of fact, I think men need to learn to express themselves a little better when they are upset about things. But for the right reasons.
Really
I say for the right reasons. We've been taught to like have our emotions. How can you say?
Suppress your emotions.
How can you? Yeah, suppress. We've been taught to suppress certain things. Like, okay, for example, why is it that it's a problem when men want to be happy and joyous, for example, right? So there's not that balance of being upset.
Wait. Because now you're trying to gaslight us, right? Because when you came in, you made the point and you said, well, when kids, when they cry or they hurt, who do they go to? And I said they go to the more emotionally intelligent parent, which is normally women. But now you're turning around and saying, well, why is it that men can't express themselves? You literally just tried to vilify women for being more emotionally intelligent and more accepting of said kids. But then you turn around and say, well, why can't men express themselves? Why can't? And when Jessica just actually talked about it.
Jessica,
now you want to be emotional.
Well, hold on. The reason I made that point, though, Miss Jessica, is because, you know, when a man his feelings are suppressed throughout his entire childhood, and then he finally gets to that point of being an adult, what do you think's going to happen to a lot of them? They're going to go crazy. They're going to be more apt to, you know, losing.
You're proving my point.
That's going to be very common. Yeah.
You're proving my point exactly. So it's not women.
But look, Jessica, what I'm trying to say is that that's not.
You
what
came up here. You was wrong, love.
All you got to do is admit that you're wrong.
That is not what is supposed to happen, though. It's not supposed to happen. Men are supposed to be. Somebody's supposed to be able to gird that, you know, that little boy's, you know, emotions as a young man, and as he's being raised up.
In general, overwhelming. In general, overwhelming. Who cultivates that safe space for children?
Who cultivates the safe space for children? You said women.
Yes,
women.
Right.
So and you know the reason why is because they're more emotionally
intelligent,
apt to doing things like that.
Emotion. Say the word. Say the word. No. They're more emotionally what?
Who are you talking about? The woman? The woman?
You said they're more emotionally what? Say the word that
apt,
you need. To,
apt.
Nope, that is not. They're more emotionally what?
The nature.
No, they're more emotionally what?
Hold on. What are you trying to say? They're geared towards.
They're more emotionally intelligent than men.
I wouldn't say that though, Santana.
I don't give a damn what you would say. You know what's funny? That's what you're saying, but your pride won't let you say the word. It's mind blowing. You're literally, you are literally redeemed. You are up here admitting to it, but you're so prideful that you can't actually come out and admit to it. You got to walk all the way around the building without going straight to. All you got to do is admit it. All you got to do. You're already trying to say it in a roundabout way.
God gave us gifts, man, and that's just the way it is.
Well, tell me your gifts,
Santana.
Tell me your
gifts. As women and men, we have different gifts that are, you know.
Tell me your gift.
Better than others, I guess.
Hey, do you not hear Jessica talking to you?
What's your gift?
What was that?
What's your gift?
What is my gift?
Yeah.
I got a few.
Give me one.
I got a gift to do a few things that you know, help to motivate people, speak, preach.
What is your gift as a man? Because we all can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I got the gift to I got the gift to influence people. Okay, I can move people.
I influence. I'm actually an influencer.
No, and Jessica, I'm not competing with you. I mean,
you said that God gives you
what is the point, though? I mean, I'm trying to get that. I mean, where you going?
You said God give me gifts. God give men gifts.
Okay, well,
what is those men gifts?
But see, there's a nature that God gives us that is different between men and women. We're wired different. Our DNA is different.
What is it?
Be specific. As a matter of fact, hold on. Okay, this might be a lot of pressure. There's 1,000 people in here. Jessica Simone is putting him on the spot. This might be a lot of pressure. Let's take a second. Think about your gift that's specific to you, something that, you know, isn't a gift for women that God specifically put in your DNA and your nature. I'm going to give you a moment.
Like I said,
please take the time. Please take the time, I promise.
Look, I would say this. the Lord. See with the Jeopardy music, man. Like, what's up, bro?
I'm trying. I was trying to help you out. Also, guys, W's in the chat for Kabira. Kabira sent a $20 donation saying, "Who interrupts more and act like children on the panel?" It's definitely men. Without a doubt, it's definitely men. W's in the chat for Kabira. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And also, may I say that we have the beautiful, intelligent, funny, charismatic Jessica Simone on the panel right now. And while Jessica Simone is on the panel, not only do we want to gift Jessica, please make sure we blow up her gifts. But guys, let's hit Jessica Simone pay links. Let's make sure we take care of Jessica Simone up here for this labor that she is putting in. I am leaning on Jessica Simone to do the heavy lifting. Mods, can we get Jessica Simone pay links and run them in the poll while she's up here? Let's make sure that we are taking care of Jessica Simone for any of the men or women or anyone in the chat that realizes how ridiculous Redeem has been, and also how much Jessica has dog walked him so far, and we haven't even talked about politics. Show Jessica some love. Make sure you are hitting up her pay links. Take care of my friend Jessica Simone while she is on this panel, because I specifically called on her. I asked her to come up here and do this with me, for me. So I'm asking my community. There's 1,000-something of us hanging out right now. Let's make sure that we are taking care of Jessica Simone. With that being said, Redeem, give us this special gift that God weaved into your DNA one by one that made you so special, this gift that he didn't give to women. What is that gift that you have?
Well, like I said, man, the Lord, he wired us differently, men and women, okay?
Yeah, give us that specific gift.
Jessica,
that specific gift.
So Jessica, so you're interrupting, right?
Give us that specific. No. I'm interrupting. Give us that specific gift.
Okay, so like I said, God, he wired us differently.
Okay.
The Lord, he made our DNAs different.
Jeebus, yes.
Okay. Women,
give us the gift.
Women have more of a nurturing,
no. Stop talking about women. Stop talking about women and talk about redeemed. Redeemed. What is that specific gift that God gave you, that he wired into your DNA, that makes you special, that he did not give to women? Go.
I mean, like I said, I'm not talking about the gifts like that. I'm not talking about.
That's what you said. You literally said that.
Look. When I mention the word gift, I'm talking about the Lord has gifted women with a nurturing spirit.
Okay, cool. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out for half a second. Then
I was talking about.
Hold on. Okay, cool. Let's zoom out for half a second.
Women are more nurturing on average.
Let's zoom out half a second, and I'll extend the olive branch. Can you name a gift that the good Sky Daddy, the Lord above, gave men that he didn't give women? Go.
So Santana, are you a Christian?
I am not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I am religious. I do believe in a higher power. I don't believe in your Bible book. I don't believe in, your mystery fairy tales.
So Jesus doesn't live in your life, right? Like you're not a born again Christian.
Yeah, again, I grew up a Southern Baptist. I became a member of the Church of Christ. I understand that religion is a construct and also a tool of oppression. I do believe in a higher power. I don't think that I am, the most high or whatever. But I do think that religion, especially Christianity, has been used as a tool of oppression, not only for Black and brown people, but to actually cultivate hate and to cultivate sexism and all this other stuff. So no, I'm not interested in that. But with that being said, give me a gift that your Sky Daddy that sprinkled on men that he didn't sprinkle on women.
So like I said, he wired us different. He geared us different.
You keep saying that.
Like I said, you call him Sky Daddy. I believe in Jesus Christ.
You keep being general. Be specific.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, so he made Adam. All right. In the book of Genesis, we see that. You see, so Miss Jessica, there we go again. So is she gonna keep on interrupting? Because I mean, I'm
how many times have I interrupted you, Redeem?
Jessica, can you mute?
How many? Redeem. No, Redeem. How many times have I interrupted you?
So I'm trying to talk.
How many times have I interrupted you?
But why are you?
How many times have I interrupted you?
Santana, what's your emotion in your eyes?
Yeah, I'm getting really emotional right now because that's
Yeah,
bullshit.
exactly, bro. So
yeah, I am getting emotional right now because I'm getting emotional right now because you're specifically only targeting her because she's a woman, even though all she did was laugh. All she did was laugh, and in this entire time, I've been speaking over you, and not once have you said anything to me. So you are specifically being misogynist, and just because I'm a man, you're willing to let me actually speak over you. But when Jessica actually laughs, you have a problem.
But you're allowing her to do that.
That's because she's my special guest that I invited up here.
But your special guest keeps interrupting.
And I keep interrupting you.
As the host, can you tell her to mute up?
Okay. No, it's not gonna happen. I can mute you if I want to.
You don't want to take care of your business as a man, sir?
You're not a man. You're not a man. You can't even tell us what the gift is that you got.
We already knew what it was. The reason why he didn't want to actually address anything is because he didn't have an argument, and he wanted to run because he knew that he didn't have a point. Jessica Simone laughing or not being on mute had nothing to do with him being here. He didn't have any reason. He didn't have any logic. I disproved what he was saying in real time. Jessica Simone came in and dog walked him from the beginning to the very end. He crashed out and left because he knew for a fact that he didn't have any type of information, facts, or anything that made him special. And so he used that as an out. Jessica?
You mind if I?
She's a runner, she's a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hard.
You know what, Jessica? I mean, that's cool, but we do things a little bit different around here. He did run.
The shout outs. Coop, thank you for the $25 dono. I appreciate you. Nikki, thank you for the $20 dono that said, thank you from another woman to you. I appreciate you, Queen. And Tyler, thank you for the $10 dono that said, girl, interrupt him louder, okay? Fucking period. Y'all get to watch it in real time. The misogyny happened. I did not interrupt him. They are scared of other men, but they want to beat down on women.
It's the weirdest shit, Jess.
And he had not one gift.
Not one. Jess, I don't know what you're doing. If you want to hang out, you're more than welcome. But if you got other stuff to go, I understand. I mean, other stuff to do, I understand as well. Sure, call.
No problem. I got a little bit more time. I appreciate it.
Fuck it. Let's do it, guys. Listen. We have Jessica Simone here, so we are going to do the damn thing. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. We are talking to Trump supporters. This is Sparring with Santana. We are directly talking to Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are not a Trump supporter, if you are not someone that supports Donald Trump, do not request up because we are not talking to friendlies. This is Sparring with Santana, debates with Trump supporters. We are looking and taking all comers. Listen, Jessica Simone, Santana, it is a hell of a combination, and we are looking to fatten up this around everybody's eye. Castro, are you a Trump supporter?
Race-based discrimination.
Castro, are you a Trump supporter? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no, and I'm gonna drop you down, guys. Check and make sure that you are, if you are in the box, you are someone that supports Donald Trump. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. We are only talking to Trump supporters. We are not interested in talking to any friendlies. Make sure that you are a Trump supporter. JB, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Okay, awesome, JB. Listen, JB, buddy, you got me here. You got Jessica Simone here. Jessica, I know Jessica wants to know the answer to this. I've been searching for the answer for this one for a while. Maybe you can help us out because you seem like a pretty emotionally intelligent man and someone that has some answers. So quick question for you, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Who's Trump's daddy?
Trump's daddy?
Yeah, who's Trump's daddy?
Fuck do I know? I don't. Why do I care?
Oh, you know what? I get it. It's a strange question. If you don't really understand or you don't have content, my bad. JB, that's on me. My bad. I'll help. Right. So we know for a fact that Donald Trump has to acquiesce to President Musk, right? So we get that. But he also has to bend the knee to Bibi. He's always been a puppet of Putin's, but more recently, he's become the Heritage Foundation's whore. But we also can't forget about his billionaire bosses. So I guess the better question for you, JB, would be, how can one man serve so many masters while not serving the citizens of the United States?
Here's the thing. Why is everybody mad at Elon, but not mad about what he is finding? Can someone explain that?
That's a good question. Jessica, would you like to take that, or would you like for me to take it?
See, the thing is, if shit keeps going like this, y'all might never see the president's seat again.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Y'all might never see it again.
So let me answer your question. The reason why people are quote unquote mad at Elon, it's for multiple reasons. So let me level set.
Let me guess. He wants to steal half of America's bad credit having ass, right?
Can I answer your question?
I'm just saying.
But can I answer your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me level set with you and start by saying I do not disagree with the principle and purpose of Doge. I think that the idea of Doge is actually a good idea. I think that making sure that the government is cutting wasteful spending and there's some type of oversight is super beneficial. So I like it. The issue that people have with Elon Musk is, one, no one voted for him. Two, he hasn't been vetted.
We all voted for him knowing he was coming with Trump. All of us did.
So you specifically voted for President Musk. That's what you're saying.
In July. We all knew that was coming with it.
So okay, cool. So perfect. All right. So I'll leave that point. Because you interrupted me while I was actually trying to get through the point. So, like I was saying, he's unvetted, meaning he has no security clearance to actually be able to access all of these important parts of the United States government. And even more than that, he has a conflict of interest and he's lying. What Elon Musk is doing is he's taking a little bit of truth and wrapping lies around it and feeding it to the American public, who is unwilling to actually verify said information and just taking it as a whole because there's a little bit of truth. That's the problem we have with Elon Musk.
Okay, great. But it's still happening. Do you think they made up this Department of Government Efficiency off a whim? Donald Trump knew the whole time that
that wasn't even Donald Trump's idea.
They knew the whole time money was
that wasn't even Donald Trump's idea.
Being laundered.
That wasn't even Donald Trump's idea.
They knew.
Would you like to acknowledge or even engage with the point that I just made? I keep saying it for a specific reason.
What are you talking about? He said his whole campaign. He said
Doge was not Donald Trump's idea.
His whole campaign, he ran on.
Doge was not Donald Trump's idea. Would you like to know or even engage with the words that I'm saying?
And you say Elon doesn't have any clearance. Do you think he has no clearance through
Holy
SpaceX?
shit. So the answer is no. So the answer is no. You don't want to engage with what I'm saying.
Security clearances do you think he has through SpaceX?
Hey. I said Doge was not Donald Trump's idea. The actual intelligent thing for you to do would be like, if it's not Trump's idea, then whose idea was it?
Campaign on it?
He absolutely did. Whose idea was Doge?
That's all that matters.
Whose idea was Doge?
Who gives a fuck? Did he campaign on it or not?
Yeah, he absolutely did. You're
okay.
Right.
That's
I'm sorry.
That counts.
You're right. You're right. It doesn't matter conceptions of ideas. It doesn't matter the processes that have been put. No, the fuck he's not. Because the simple fact of the matter is they're not actually doing what Doge is supposed to do. You know why they're not doing what Doge is supposed to do?
Why?
Because they're not actually targeting wasteful spending. They are going after the margins and actually looking at other little areas where they can quote unquote cut money, but they're using it as personal vendettas to actually gut social safety nets that are implemented not only within the United States, but all around the world. If they really truly wanted to target those actual wasteful spending habits of the United States government, they would go straight to the top and target the military budget, but they won't touch the military budget because they know for a fact that the military budget actually directly relates to Elon Musk because he gets all of his contracts and government
just said he
subsidies
was
related
checking the
to. He
Pentagon
gets
and the
all of his.
military budget
He gets
next on
all
the
of his
list.
contracts. He gets all of his contracts and subsidies related to the military budget. And if he actually cuts any type of wasteful spending there, then he would hurt his bottom line.
Well, you're wrong because they just said that's the next thing they're going in for.
I don't give a shit what they said. When are they going to do it? Because they've been saying that was the next thing, but you know where they actually are already. They've already went to the Department of Education. They've already went to other places, and
Friday, it's Sunday, bro.
now the judges have stepped
Friday,
in.
they were in the Department of Education. It's
Yeah,
Sunday,
and
bro.
now judges have stepped in and said that no, Elon Musk cannot gain that information, and he must destroy any information that he's already collected. It is a overreach. He has no right to the United States citizens' information that he's collecting.
A judge just blocked that and gave them access.
No, a judge didn't block a judge.
And there's been another bill just written up by another.
Okay, cool.
Who just wrote it up?
Cool. Cite your source.
Hold on, I'm gonna look right now.
Okay, cool.
Because don't no one give a fuck about.
Stop talking.
All this bullshit y'all talking about.
Stop talking and actually
Get mad
provide
about
your source.
what he's finding.
JB, stop talking and find your source.
Fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
Every fucking time,
Of course,
Jess.
get them every time.
Every fucking time, Jess.
Oh my goodness.
You know, and so Jess, I know what you hit earlier, but this is what we do around here when we have a runner. Guys, W's in the chat for Jessica Simone. W's in the chat for me. W's in the chat for yourself. Guys, we are up here thrashing them.
Somebody go catch him, y'all. You're running.
Ain't no way, Jess. Ain't no way.
Boss Lady, thank you for the $2 dono. I appreciate you. Draw some coconuts for Boss Lady. Thank you, love. She said that this is from the emotional woman. LOL. Thank you, baby.
Also, W's in the chat for Lawrence. Lawrence sent a $15 donation, and this was back. I'm sorry I missed this, but $15 kick redeem. He has nothing to contribute. He absolutely had nothing to contribute. Absolutely not. Guys, please go ahead and request up. This is Sparring with Santana, debates with Trump supporters. We got myself. We got Jessica Simone up here. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. If you are not a Trump supporter, please do not request up. We are not talking to friendlies. We are only looking for Trump supporters. If you're a friendly, keep tapping the screen. Tap the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 400,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 600 or 700 shares. Also, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And please don't forget about my girl, Jessica Simone. She is here with us right now. Make sure we are gifting Jessica, but not only gifting her, her links should be running in the polls. Mod, did we put her links? Mods, can we put her pay links in the poll and run those while she's up here? Make sure we're taking care of Jessica Simone while she's up here. Make sure we are taking care of her for this emotional labor. Jamie, are you a Trump supporter? Jamie, are you a Trump supporter? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kick you. I'm gonna assume that you, Raymond, fuck you. I'm not talking to you. This guy, he comes up here and he has no substance, and he won't even actually engage in a debate. He's just a fucking troll, but he keeps coming back. I would actually talk to him if he really wanted to genuinely engage in some type of debate or whatever, but he's just a weirdo troll, and I refuse. No, Raymond, fuck off.
They not beating them weird allegations, that's for sure.
No, not even close. Not even close. You know what? Jessica, I'm gonna do this just because you're up here.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I was about to say it's Boom Burger in it.
It's fucking Boom. Guys, listen, while we have Boom up here, make sure you're protecting the live. That means tapping the screen, sharing the live, gifting Jessica Simone, and doing all the wonderful things. Boom. What do you have to add?
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Okay. Peace and love, Boom Burger. How are you?
Great. Doing great.
Boom, we got a question for you.
Take care, community.
Boom, no, Boom, we got a question for you. Who's
All right.
Donald Trump's daddy?
We are
Who is we?
the people, none greater than God.
Are you sure about that?
All that's in God's DNA. If we here, we that be a part of God's DNA. So we here, so we're his daddy. So we put the
What?
right things out to the universe, we can control how he thinks. So if he go on YouTube, when he come to this app and see us talking crazy about him, he can feel a certain kind of way. If he come on this app and see us saying something else about him, he can feel a kind of way. We got control over that. Based on how we communicate, we can control how a person is.
Hey,
I saw
Boom.
my grandparents do it.
Hey, Boom.
What? Bro,
Yeah, I
what
saw
are
my
you talking
grandparents
about,
do
man?
it. I saw them control how. I saw them do it. The way we communicate, we can make somebody look at us and have a different point of view about us and do different things for us. But they say Trump look on this panel and see us talking crazy and saying different stuff. He might just like forget it. Do this then now or whatever. But if we see us talking more respectful, it could be something else. We don't gotta be kissing nobody behind nothing, but it's just how we could it's the art of persuasion. It's stuff like that. Or you could get somebody to do something negative or positive based on how you communicate. But we could continue on. If you think this is gonna work to get somebody to do positive, let's see how that goes. But I never saw that work. I saw my grandparents and them talk different to get somebody to do something. They talk to him like he a little kid. If he say something crazy, they be like, he don't understand, he young. He's
okay, hold on, Boom. Hold on. Jess, did you understand what he said?
I am lost in the sauce. So you saying we should? What should we say about Trump? We should. You think Trump watching us?
I'm saying we control the water. Everything is water everywhere. So we control things with how we communicate. If we communicate a certain way, we have control. We communicate another way, it's another form of control.
What do you think we should say to quote unquote control Donald Trump?
Well, collectively, it's not about control. We're magnetic. We have a aura.
Hold on, Boom. God damn it! I didn't think I was gonna need this today.
We all have aura.
Hold on, Boom. Hold on.
Now you see.
Hold on, Boom. Hold on. Let me make sure it's on tight. Okay, go ahead, Boom. You got it.
Now you see how I just said that, and what I was just saying. You did something. You put FOIA on your head. See, I can say some things that make you respond a certain way. The same way you can say some things that make Trump or whoever's in power look at you, respond a certain way. You got that kind of power.
What do you think we should say, Boomberg, about Trump?
It's up to you. It's not about what you have to say. It's about how you respect yourself. If a person see you care about yourself and respect yourself using certain kind of words, showing that respect for yourself, that make them respect you a certain kind of way.
So you don't
Same way if you see somebody clean and take a shower all the time, they take care of themselves, you deal with them a certain kind of way.
Oh my God.
That's all it is. If you see somebody using a certain kind of language, you're gonna deal with them a certain kind of way.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Fucking time out. Tish, are you a Trump supporter? Tish Talk Baby, are you a Trump supporter? Okay. I'm gonna drop you down. I think that was a tapping error. Guys, tap the screen, share the live. If you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Trump, get in the box, please. And if you're not a Trump supporter, if you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Also, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Also, make sure we are taking care of Jessica Simone while she is up here. Make sure we are taking care of Jessica Simone. Her pay links are in the bio. And I guess I need to make sure we do this. Daryl, are you a Trump supporter?
I used to, and I regret my vote.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
You said you regret your vote?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, mission accomplished. I'll go ahead and go get you up out of here. I appreciate you guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter and you're currently a Trump supporter. I get it. Like, you know, you regret your vote. That's cool. I get it. I regret your vote as well, but that's not who we're talking to. All right. Victor, are you a Trump supporter? Victor, are you a Trump supporter? Hey, Victor.
He don't go here.
No, he doesn't. Chandler, are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Okay, all right. Boom, you got to give me a second. Chandler, I'm assuming I probably won't need this for you for right now, but I'm gonna keep it close just in case I do.
Oh man.
Boom, hold on one second. Chandler,
Was
question
that
for
foil?
you.
Sorry, was that foil?
Yeah, it was. Listen, if you would have heard the stuff that Boom was saying, you would need foil as well.
I got it.
Oh man.
Okay. So Chandler, question for you.
What's up?
Who's Trump's daddy?
Who's his dad?
Who's his daddy?
Oh, you think Elon's his daddy?
No. So I'm a little bit confused, and I'm looking for Trump supporters to actually help clear up the confusion, right? Because, all right, we all know President Musk, right? We know, we accept President Musk, but also he's been bending the knee to BB. But we can never forget that he's always been Putin's puppet, and more recently than not, he's the Heritage Foundation's whore, right? But then he also has his billionaire bosses. So I'm trying to understand, who is Trump's daddy?
No one's Trump's daddy, but I don't understand why everyone has an issue with Musk, but is a pro-Fauci person. Nobody voted for Fauci. Nobody voted for Kamala Harris.
Kamala. Okay, cool. So your logic is that an actual infectious disease expert who has spent years of not only research and studying and being a part of the government is not someone that, quote unquote, should have any type of say so, but you think that the South African immigrant who is the richest man on earth, who has used government contracts to actually make himself the richest man on earth, should be responsible for taking a look at government spending and controlling what happens with government spending. That's your logic.
He has some of the most successful businesses, right? So if I'm going to sit there and say I'm going to go look for a federal contract and have somebody coming from outside the government that understands anything, like, let's talk about someone that understands efficiencies. And I believe this my whole life, because you can just look at the difference between USPS and UPS. The federal government has been lacking any type of, like, I guess, modernization, right? And whether it's bad spending or good spending, like, we need somebody that understands how to utilize the 21st century into the federal government to make it more efficient.
Yeah.
For the job.
Yeah, I hear, I absolutely hear you. But hold on a second. Dog Pusher, are you a Trump supporter?
No, I'm sorry. It was my mistake.
Okay, cool. I get the, the actual quote unquote thought process behind that, but Elon Musk has no governmental experience. And so that puts us at a risk, because you're talking about someone actually coming in and looking at a spreadsheet and looking at spending and saying, oh, this needs to be cut. This needs to be cut. There's money here. There's money there. There's money there. And without understanding how said items actually work in a not only a domestic but a global impact that those items actually have, there's a huge issue with that. I have no issue with the actual thought process behind Doge and the principle behind Doge. I do have an issue with the person that they have leading it, because Elon Musk is not someone that understands the workings of the United States government.
But he understands finances, and he's not making that final say when it comes to it, right? He's collecting the data to push to the bureaucrats that can make that decision.
No, he's not. He's not. He has a team that's doing that, and he heads up that team. He's not actually passing that information off, and he's also being super reckless with what he's doing. Hold on one second. 5-0. Are you a Trump supporter?
No, but
okay.
I'm gonna
go ahead and drop you. No. Guys, please respect our boundaries. We are only talking to Trump supporters. We are only talking to Trump supporters. If you are not a Trump supporter, please do not request up. Listen, I know you guys want to get up here and join the panel. Listen, I appreciate it. I see Jessica Simone. She turned the camera on, and that probably makes you guys think for some reason that you guys need to be up here. If you listen, hit her DMs. Do not come up here on our panel. We are not talking to any friendlies. This is Sparring with Santana. We are debating Trump supporters. We are not interested in having the conversation with anyone else. Listen, if you want to get a message across, you can put it in the comments. You can drop it for one of my mods, or guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the bio. If you actually attach a message, I will read that off. Jessica Simone will do the same as well. Hit her pay links, but we are only talking to Trump supporters. Chandler.
Yep.
You know what? I'm sorry, Jess. What do you want to add to that? I'm sorry. Let me take a step back for you for a second.
No, I just don't get why everybody's so up in arms about immigrants, and then we let the immigrant come in, take all of our information, all of our banking information, personal information. Your mom, your dad, you have paid into the Social Security. They paid all their life, and they're not going to be able to get it. They're going to defund everything that we've worked for. Like Santana said, he doesn't know how American government works. He does not have the experience. Just because you get a government contract for Starlink and Tesla and SpaceX doesn't mean that you know how everything is ran. And I think that's just crazy that you're okay with allowing him to do so just because, you want to support everything that Trump says. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to say, hold the person that you support accountable and say, you're going too far. This is too much. He'd be the only person from Africa that I want to send back.
Jessica, where are your parents from?
America.
Yeah. You know where my parents are from?
No, I do not. Where are your parents from?
Lebanon. You know where that's at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you need to make sure that you understand the difference of classification between illegal migrants and migrants in general. And I feel like it's very disrespectful to lump in legal migrants with illegal migrants.
Well, they were in an interview, and his brother said that they were here illegally. That's first of all.
Overstayed their visa, right? But when
that means they were here illegally.
I understand, right? In the legal
you
process.
make the exception for him, but you don't want to make the exception for all of the Black and brown immigrants that come from the south of the border.
It has nothing to do with
now
that.
the Trump is trying to offer you refugees for the quote unquote minorities of European descent from South Africa, where they went to steal the land, and now they're taking it back, and now he's offering them refugees. I thought we didn't have room for immigrants.
When it comes down to the refugees, we have room for migrants, right? For legal
so
people.
Now we got room. I thought we need to take care of America first.
For illegal immigrants.
We're worrying about South Africans, but we're supposed to be taking care of America first.
You understand about economics, right? And over the last
I feel like if everybody else understood it, they would have voted for VP Kamala Harris, considering that all the economic experts said that his economy or his plan was going to tank America, right?
Well, we just got a $1 trillion contract with Japan, so I don't see how that's bad. But anyway, I digress.
It depends on how much debt he puts us in, huh? I don't know about that deal, so I'm not going to speak on it. And I would love to look it up. And I'm not saying
I know about it.
Yeah, but he also put us $8 trillion in debt. So what is that going to not shave off one of the debt he's put us in before?
Also, I do want to call out that it was not a $1 trillion deal with Japan.
They're not investing $1 trillion?
No.
Okay.
Are you talking about that tech guy?
If you're talking about multiple deals that have actually been announced under the Trump administration, I do think that the actual announced amount may actually reach that, but it was one specific deal for $1 trillion. No.
Okay. Well, there's I think there's like 3 or 4 different deals through Japan that equate to $1 trillion. It wasn't a single.
It's not just
Can
Japan.
you tell me what those deals are and how much those amounts are?
It's Toyota, steel, and then I don't know the natural resources off the top of my head.
So Toyota is going to invest how much?
The Toyota is bringing manufacturing into the U.S.
And that's going to bring how much? That's a what? $1 million deal, $1 billion deal.
Right. I don't know. I know that was a few mineral resources, but again, I digress from that because we were talking about the migrants, right? So again, we can get into that conversation, but you brought up the migrants. And I think that anybody, no matter if you're Democratic or Republican, that you can understand that the housing crisis over the last 4 years has been exponential.
Right. Due to the Tax and Credits Jobs Act and the deregulation of the Dodd-Frank Act that Donald Trump all put in place when he was president, right?
No, I would say the influx of people to house.
No.
Absolutely.
You're wrong.
So it's not the fact that the deregulation that he put in place that allowed these big corporations to buy up as many residential homes as they would like, and then they continue to do so, and they raise the price of it so people can't even afford these said houses. And
who was the number one purchaser of those houses?
Corporations.
But what entity? There's a single entity that has bought more than anybody else.
What does that matter?
Because
but but before Donald Trump put in those deregulations, they weren't able to do that.
Well, exactly. That's the point.
because
Right.
those houses
Yeah,
are for
BlackRock
the residential.
made the most #1 purchases, and they were the #1 investor for Kamala Harris.
And then it's also a fact that statistically, when immigrants come over here, they stay with families.
Are you just going to breeze over that? I know I just had 3 uncles get.
I don't care if it's just BlackRock, but I'm saying what the question is, like, the statement is that they weren't able to do that before Donald Trump put these deregulations in place, before he removed all these regulations.
That's the bigger point. Like you want to point out that quote unquote BlackRock is the one that actually is buying up all these houses and other stuff. The simple fact of the matter is, like Jessica Simone said, if Donald Trump wouldn't actually deregulated the housing market, they never would have had an opportunity to do so. So I don't care that there's dogs in our front yard pooping all over the yard, when the person that actually opened the gate to let the dogs in, you're not going to just say, oh, there's dogs pooping in the front yard. Yeah, the guy opened up the gate for the dogs to come in, so you can't ignore that.
Yeah, I concede. I'll concede on that argument.
Let me read these off real quick, guys. W's in the chat for Lindsay. Lindsay sent a $15 donation saying, you have the patience of a saint. Thank you so much, Lindsay. I appreciate you. You are absolutely awesome. Guys, W's in the chat for Veronica. Veronica sent a $2 donation saying, ask MAGA, do they only care about the if the people are black and brown? Listen, Jessica Simone already clocked it. I don't have to say it. You already know it, guys. Thank you so much for the donation. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, best way to support the live. Please take care of my girl, Jessica Simone. Her pay links are running in the poll. Make sure you hit her pay links. I want to hear her say thank you. I need to hear those shout outs from Jessica Simone. With that being said,
No, you're overlooking Dr. Fauci. I don't understand that.
Boom, I don't have my tinfoil hat on. You got to hold on just for a moment.
That's crazy.
With that being said, Chandler, Jessica made a great point, right? Because you're talking about immigration. I think I might be the wrong person to talk about immigration, because I, like you like to say, quote unquote, legal versus illegal immigration. I think the United States is a place where if anyone is willing to actually risk their lives to come to this country, they should be welcomed with open arms and given that opportunity to actually do so, as far as making it in this country. But with that being said, Donald Trump has seemed to prioritize those black and brown people coming from those areas and not allowing those people to have said refuge, where he's openly welcoming people that are, white, let's be honest, and giving them that actual ability to come in, specifically saying how he turned around refugees that came from Afghanistan, which we had an agreement to actually accept those refugees, but yet he's willing to accept South African refugees. Again, told the brown refugees no, telling the white refugees yes.
I think that's a lot more complex. And again, a lot of Democratic debates are very surface level. So have you read about any of the human rights violations that's happening in South Africa versus the white demographic?
Yes, I've read of the actual human rights violation. I understand what's happening in South Africa, and I do understand that the actual South African government is taking back that land that was still in those white South Africans' hands after apartheid. But even more, I understand what we did in the Afghan region, and also the agreements that we had in place, and also the fact that we destabilized that area specifically. And Donald Trump had a direct hand in that, but yet he's turning them away.
So, and again, right? So surface level. So
How's that surface level?
Because am I a white T-man? Am I a white T-man?
Oh, I mean, I can make that assumption by your picture. Are you?
I mean, I would be classified in the United States as a white T-man. Obviously, my parents are from Lebanon, but we are of.
Probably, I mean, race is a construct, and it's based on phenotypical characteristics. So you present as a white man.
Why is that your argument? Because if my uncles look just like me, right, and we look just the same, they have their little ginger beards like I do, and they just got deported.
Yeah, again, the reason why I say that is because race is based on phenotypical characteristics, and you present as a white man. So that's why I say that. Like, I'm not saying that you're from this place or that place or whatever. I'm not saying that you're not Lebanese or anything like that. I'm saying you look and could pass as a white man. You are white presenting.
I agree, right? But if this is a social construct, your entire debate is between what's going on and the horrific human rights violations happening in South Africa, but it's not okay because they're white, And we just so happen to be on a border where most people are Latino. So majority of our migrants are going to be of Latino ethnicity. But once the sanctuaries are ripped from Washington, you're going to see a high number of Chinese migrants and a high number of Russian migrants that are going to be deported at a high rate. That's my
I mean, I hear you, but and that's the point that I'm trying to make. If it was a concerted effort to actually target immigrants, no matter which, where, shape, anything that you could actually target, then we would be on the same page. But Donald Trump and the Trump administration specifically has targeted Black and brown people from the southern borders and from Africa, from the Congo, and has targeted those people based off of that look. They're not saying that we're going to go after these Chinese migrants or Asian migrants. They're not saying that we're going to go after these European migrants. They're not saying that. They've talked about and danced and jumped up and down about the actual southern border, and they specifically target those Black and brown people. That's the point.
So the southern border's number one target is because of all the fentanyl that's coming across the southern.
Okay, wait, Chandler, I'm gonna drop you down. Request right back up. You can't say that word on TikTok. So request right back up, okay?
Yep.
All right, guys, keep tapping the screen. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. We are only talking to Trump supporters. I'm gonna bring these people up because I don't think they're Trump supporters, but I want to clear out the box just to make sure. Also, guys, W's in the chat for Steven. Steven sent a.
Wow.
Oh, she is sleeping good.
You had a long weekend.
Oh, she's sleeping good.
A real long one.
Can I just say that 83% of those shrugs that are coming across the southern border are brought in by American citizens?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How y'all overlooking Dr. Fauci? I don't understand that. You know how many people? Don't you know a lot of people?
Hold on one second, Boom. Hold on one second, Boom. Gio, are you a Trump supporter? Gio, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
You are?
You're a kid.
Gio.
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gio, what year were you born?
Born in 1965.
1965. How old are you?
I don't know. Do the numbers. You're so smart.
No. I need you to answer that question for me. 1965. How old are you?
I'm 52.
You're 52?
62.
62, and you were born in 1965.
Yeah.
My guy, that's 59.
No, dude. If I was 59, I'd be born 1967.
1965, 2024, which unless you were born in January or February, that math would be a little bit different, but 2014 minus 1,965 is 59.
If I was 59, I'd be born in 67.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to keep you up here because you're entertaining. Boom. I'm going to drop you down. I'm going to drop you down. I'm going to keep you up here because I feel like I am about to roast the shit out of you. Guys, W's in the chat for Steven. Steven sent a 50.
Bring it on, dude.
Steven sent a $15.
Straight. Trump is deporting all illegals, not immigrants, my boy. Keep your facts straight.
W's in the chat for Steven. Steven sent a $15 donation saying, if Joe sent George Soros to do what Elon Musk did to would MAGA be okay? You absolutely know that they would be losing their minds if the name was Soros instead of Musk. We know for a fact that would actually be happening. Guys, W's in the chat for Steven. Thank you so much for that $15 donation, Steven. Guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Please make sure we're taking care of Jessica Simone because, again, I have not heard Jessica Simone say thank you in a long time. Guys, there's 1.1 thousand of us hanging out here. Let's make sure we are tapping the screen. We're so close to 400,000 likes. Let's get up to 400,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 800 shares. Let's also, guys, if you're not following Jessica Simone for some weird reason, make sure we are following Jessica Simone. She is absolutely amazing. She hosts some of the best lives on TikTok. I am always on her panel because she shows me love. This is my sister. This is my friend. This is a woman that is intelligent and head and shoulders above me. So if you like what I do, you are going to love Jessica Simone. Make sure you're following her. Take care of her. All those wonderful things. Chandler, I'm going to come back to you in a second. I feel like smacking Gio around a little bit. I do.
I'll pop on you.
Yeah. Gio.
Gio, yes, smack.
Gio, without doxing yourself, what state do you live in?
Oh, I live in the best blue state in the world, New York.
New York. Got it. Gio, when you talk about immigration,
I am an immigrant.
Gio, where are you from?
I was born in Italy.
And when did you come to the U.S.?
Paisan.
In the U.S. in 1974.
So you've been in the U.S. since 74. Gio, are you a naturalized citizen?
No, I'm an immigrant.
So you're not. So you're not a United States citizen.
No, I'm not. The line was too long. I never became one.
So are you an undocumented immigrant now?
No, I'm a documented immigrant.
So you
Thing is undocumented.
Wait. So to obtain your current legal status, what have you done?
I have a green card.
When's the last time you renewed your green card?
Last year.
Okay, so you're saying that you have a valid green card.
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So I guess Jessica, and I'll let you get this one if you want to, but I just have a quick question. Hey Gio, how do you feel about Donald Trump actually shipping people out that have valid green cards?
If you commit a crime, I'm with it. Even
So
if I do, I have a green card.
Cool.
If I commit a felony, I should be shipped.
Cool. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that one, Gio. How do you feel about Donald Trump deporting green card holders that have not committed crimes?
That I'm against. If you have any proof of that, I'm with you.
Sure, absolutely. Hey, do you know what actually happened to students that were in the United States on green cards and they were protesting the genocide that's occurring in Gaza?
No.
Sure. Donald Trump actually deported those students for protesting the genocide that's happening in Gaza. Donald Trump actually, they were here, legal green card students, and they were trying to participate in the First Amendment right as far as freedom of speech, and they were trying to actually speak out on an injustice, and Donald Trump and the Trump administration deported them for using their voice to speak up for those innocent Palestinians. Are you okay with that?
No, do you have proof of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely have proof of that because you know what? I don't say stuff. I don't say stuff that I don't have proof for.
Okay, then show it to me if you do. That's the thing with all these talk shows. Everybody says something, all the fake news, all this, and we're supposed to believe you because you say you got proof.
Why do you love Donald Trump, Gio?
Because he's doing right for anybody here that's here legally and is an American citizen. He's doing the right thing by all of us. We all know that the government's corrupt. He's cleaning it up.
So I just have a question. You're telling me that the guy with 34 count felonies for fraud and the one who frauded
that's what you guys
hold on one second.
We don't know that.
Hey, Gio, do you hear Jessica speaking?
Yes, I hear her.
Okay, so if you hear her speaking, that means you be quiet until she finishes.
Got it.
So you're telling me the guy with 34 count felony fraud charges, which is lying, deceit, and the guy that frauded his own charity for kids with cancer and has plenty of settlements for fraud is going to clean out the fraud and corruption in the government?
Yes.
You believe that?
I totally believe that.
Oh, that is so sad. Zoya, thank you for the $5. Thank you for the powerful voice. Big love. And Christian, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Thank you for all that you do. Can y'all drop some coconuts for them, please? Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Zoya.
And hey, Gio, just as a
want to know what type
Trump
of thinking
supporter,
you're doing to know what type of conversation we can have.
both Jessica and the host, they actually do a very great job. If they are not knowledgeable on the concept, they don't really dive into that. So they're actually very respectful. Just FYI.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Chandler.
Thank you. Also, let me just call this out real quick, guys. W's in the chat for Katie. Katie sent a $10 donation saying, "Happy Black History Month again. I really enjoyed watching your TikTok lives. Thank you, Katie. You are absolutely too kind. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. You're amazing, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support live. And again, while Jessica Simone is up here, make sure we are taking care of my sister. Make sure we are doing that. Hey, Gio. So the NPR article that you can use as a point of reference is the NPR article that was published on January the 30th, 2025. Trump cracks down on amnesty and could deport foreign student protesters. This speaks to the executive order that Donald Trump signed for the expulsion of amnesty. Basically what it is he signed an executive order that is anti-Israel protesters, meaning that if there's anyone that's in the United States that is on a green card and they are protesting against Israel, not the United States of America, but protesting against Israel, then they will be deported. So you can actually look this article up. It's on NPR. There's also additional information linking directly to the actual executive order that was signed. And it's also more information about how the United States government considers Hamas a T group. So with all of that being said, I go back to saying, are you okay with Donald Trump kicking green card holders out of the country for protesting and using their voice, not at the United States, but at other countries?
It depends how they protest. There you go, buddy.
So now you have to add a caveat.
Of course.
So okay, what's your caveat then? Let's play your game, Gio. What's the line for their protesting?
You tell me.
No, because you're the one that said it depends on how they protest. I don't have that caveat. You set that expectation. Now you tell me what's the line.
It's a non-violent protest, and it has nothing to do with Antifa that's behind it. No problem.
Did you say Antifa?
Uh-huh.
Hey, okay. Gio, you know you're Antifa, right?
Yeah, I'm Antifa. You're right, buddy.
Do you disagree?
No.
Okay, so then why would Antifa be behind, if anything? I mean, yeah, we should all be Antifa.
Antifa's behind everything.
What is Antifa, Gio?
You're too young to see what I've seen.
Who's too young?
You.
Gio, how old do you think I am?
You're probably, look at you, you're probably in your late 20s.
Oh, okay. Well, first and foremost, thank you. That's because black don't crack unless you do it. I'm almost 40. I'm almost 40. I'm not in my late 20s. I'm almost 40. That's because black don't crack unless you do it. With that being said, don't try to son me, because I'm a grown man with a wife, with kids, with responsibilities, all of that. So with that being said, Gio, you do have, let me hold on for a second, Gio. Welcome in, Dean Raid. Welcome in, D Raid. If you just came in and you just joined us from the Dean Raid, welcome in. We are up here dog walking Trump supporters. Guys, tap the screen. We're almost at 500. Let's get the likes up to 500,000 likes. Let's get the shares up. Let's get the shares up to 800 shares. Also, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you are friendly, you can get a message across through your actual donations. And also, guys, please take care of my girl, Jessica Simone, while she's up here. There's 1.6 thousand of us hanging out. If you're not following Jessica Simone, make sure you're following Jessica Simone. Make sure you're hitting her pay links. If you're a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Trump, get it in the box. If you're friendly, please do not. We are not talking to friendlies. Gio, come off of mute. Gio, come off of mute. You have to touch your profile picture and then click the microphone. Oh God, we got somebody that's technologically. I shouldn't have muted the old man. That one's on me. My bad. Gio, while you fight for your life with the mute button, I'll let you do that. Chandler, back to you. You were talking about how you want to, for some reason, only let South Africans into the country because you're good with that.
That's not what I said.
Oh no, you were talking about how you were making an excuse about the drugs crossing the border. Go.
No, it's again, I wasn't making an excuse. So you had, because you told me that race was a social construct, right? Just Absolutely. So we get back up onto speed. And then your entire rhetoric that you were speaking to from the South African migrants, right? versus my stance of majority of the migrants that are in the U.S. are coming from South America, right? So you do disproportionately have more people of color that are migrants in this specific country. But anytime that you read these headlines that they're saying that we're only going after migrants of color is false. There's migrants that look just like me that are getting deported on a daily basis. And my home state of Washington, when that sanctuary gets lifted because Payne Bondi is no longer going to be putting funding to these sanctuary cities, right? You're going to understand that this mass deportation does not see color. It sees illegal migrants and migrants, period.
Yeah. So listen, so are you speaking in the silo or are you speaking to what's actually happening? Because I hear you saying a lot of ifs and wins and ifs and wins. Listen, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, right? I mean, that's the simple fact of the matter is right now you're saying when this happens, this is going to happen. When this happens, this is going to happen. Donald Trump has been signing executive orders since day one. He has been on a tirade. He's told Tom Homan to go crazy. He's letting ICE loose on all of these other places. And again, the point has been since Donald Trump has stepped in on his mass deportation effort, he has specifically targeted Black and brown people. He has not. Okay, so you give me an actual, not a specific one-off, because you mentioned like, oh, I have an uncle who was deported. Cool. Give me the statistics around the portion of people being deported, whether it's, give me a breakdown of the demographic of being deported. Where can I find that, Chandler?
So again, when you look at statistically speaking, majority of the migrants here are of an ethnic background. So, I mean, that's not a fair comparison, right? I mean, it's the same comparison when cops unalive certain people, right? You can sit there and say that YT people are being unalived, but it is a disproportionate because this is a majority YT country. Does that make sense? And I understand you've probably had those arguments. And it's something
that makes sense, but it's also not true.
Right, but because
the flaw in what you just said is it's simply flawed because there's more white people in the country than there is Black people, but more Black people are being unalived by the cops than white people. So again, logic doesn't make sense.
2024, more white people are unalived by cops, right? But statistically in percentages, because there was a smaller community of Black people in America, it was a higher portion of that community. But if you take number for number, more YT people were unalived than Black BLK people.
So what's the statistics? Well, one, just to go back to what Santana said, he said, where can we find that information? Or where did you find that information? Just so we could kind of be on the same page. And two, if that's the case, if we're majority white, then why doesn't the majority of white people make up the prison population?
So being 1 out of 3 white people that grew up where I grew up, it is also disproportionately, you have to understand and identify the culture. And that's just an ownership that I think that anybody can look at. When you're in the inner city, right, whether it's systemic or not, that's not something I divulge into because I've seen a lot of atrocities on that stance. This is the first time that I've voted Republican my entire life, just to be clear. So, I mean, there are social injustice that I still don't stand for. You just got to make the right choices moving forward.
Okay, and then so I'm saying
and I wasn't, and because I'm not sitting here trying to debate the inequalities of that. I'm trying to was putting that in perspective, right? Because if you just take a number, right, it's like, okay, well, there's 500 to 300. You can say, well, that's disproportionate. But what's the sample size of the 500 and what's the sample size of the 300? So if I'm looking at holistically every immigrant in this country, right, whether it's legal or illegal, right, you have to be able to look into do they come from an ethnic background or do they come from like, a YT background, right? Because if you look like a man like me, 9 times out of 10, we're not identified for ethnicity. And I'm not mad about it. It's just facts. So majority of the migrants here do have some sort of ethnic background. So it's very easy to be racially charged, but you have to peel back layers of the onions and saying, okay, like, yeah, you're going to put on more news stations and you're going to see more people from the Latino community because we have our southern border getting deported, but we're still getting Chinese migrants, right? And you can go into any of the ICE officials and you can look into it. We have people from the Middle East. We have Canadians being deported. We have Scottish and Irish. There is not just this big war against the minority of this country. The war is how many migrants that we have in here that we need to get out, right? And we need to get back to saying this is a place built on migrants, but we have to do it the right way. In the last 4 years, we've done it the wrong way.
Let me just hop in here real quick. And this is just from police reporting. I'm sorry, policeviolencereport.org, which gives a breakdown of year by year the actual reports as far as how many people that were unalive due to the police within the United States. It talks to multiple factors. You can look at the population. You can look at whether they were armed, unarmed, whether they had if they had any type of prior history, any type of medical mental issues connected, all of these multiple factors. But the point that I want to break down to you, specifically in 2024, 45% of the police unaliving, 45% of the police unaliving were either for Black or brown people.
Okay,
45%.
Those are two different ethnic groups. You cannot group that in together because you
I've
would
been
be
saying
correct.
Black and brown people are targeted at a higher clip. Period. No, that's what I've been
can't do
saying this
that.
entire time.
You can't sit there. You can't sit there and identify as a Black community, and then when it feeds your agenda, say I'm going to go ahead and bring the Latino community into it as well.
Okay, cool. Question for you. Looking at me, because again, you already said that you're Lebanese. I said that you're a white presenting man. Question for you. Do you know, am I Ethiopian? Am I Somalian? Am I Nigerian? Am I American Black? I mean, like, where do you think I'm from?
Where do I think you're from? I think you're from the West Coast.
You think I'm from? No, I'm absolutely not from the West Coast.
I mean, that would be my identifying, right?
Wait, the West Coast of what country? I'm sorry.
Of the U.S.
Okay, yeah, absolutely wrong. So the interesting thing is, one, it's hard for anyone to actually, identify just based off of looks whether this person is, a Black man from America or a Haitian man or a Dominican or any of those type of things. The simple fact of the matter is that the actual separation rate as far as how Black and brown people look is very limited in certain aspects, especially in the line of duty when it comes to police and them actually reacting at the same time. So when you talk about, oh, you can't lump in Black and brown people, well, these people are being unalived by cops who are identifying in the actual line of fire. Like it's not as simple as saying, oh, this man is Latino or this man is Black. They're saying this is a Black or brown person. Like that's how it's happening. And these people are being unalived versus even looking at you and saying, oh, you're Lebanese. No, you are a white man. And then you're being unalived. The simple fact of the matter is you saying that we can't lump these people together. But the point is, if you are Black or brown within the United States, you are technically at a higher clip to be unalived by police. So yes,
no, it's not, because you're again, this is the only time that you're trying to loop this in.
No, it's not.
Let me ask you.
No, it's not. It's absolutely
did you grow up
not.
in the city or did you grow up in the suburbs?
I grew up.
Why does it matter?
Because
because
anytime, because majority of the unalivings happen inside of an inner city.
I grew up in the city. I grew up in the city.
Okay, so then you should totally.
And the majority of unalivings happen when there's more dense population. But the simple fact of the issue or the matter is more pew related accidents happen in rural areas and those red states where there's less regulation on said pews.
Are we talking citizen on citizen pews?
I'm talking gen.
Well,
where there's less regulation, there's more pew violence.
How much regulation in Chicago?
You think Chicago is the highest margin for pew
One of them.
violence?
It's one of them.
I'm not asking if it's one of them. I'm asking if you're specific. It's funny how you guys always go straight to Chicago.
Okay, let's go where I grew up, Detroit.
Okay.
Right, where my dad grew up in
number
Corona,
one,
Queens.
right?
Before
So-
we pivot off of that,
but-
before we pivot off of that and go into like a whole different
Okay,
category as far
I'm
as
gonna
where you're
back up
going,
for a second.
I would like for you to actually acknowledge that again, black and brown people are unalived at a higher clip than white people by the
But
police
it's not
in the
because
United
I can't
States.
acknowledge it because it's false. And if you go,
I don't give a
inside of the
shit.
United
I don't
States-
give a shit what your
I don't give a shit
feelings
either.
say. The numbers
It's
are
not feelings.
45%.
You are
45% of
literally
all
picking and
unalived.
choosing information.
45% of
And you're
all
passing it off
unalivings
as the
in
host.
2024 were of black and brown people.
Any
You're
other
wrong.
conversation, it's the black community, it's the Latino community, it's the Chinese community, and then it's just the white community. So this is actually the first time I've ever been in a debate with anybody.
I got a
on this
question for you.
statistic
I got a question
where
for
you
you.
have grouped
I got a
the
question for
Latin
you.
community
I got a
with the
question
black-
for you. I got a question for you. How often has someone looked at a white man and said, "Oh, he might be Dominican," or
Never.
"Oh, he might be Mexican,"
Never.
because of the phenotypical characteristics, right?
Right. But
So how often do people look at a black man or a
but you're-
Latino man?
You're putting
and
emotions
they're-
into statistics.
No, it's not. It's not emotion.
It is.
The point that I'm trying to make is based off of the actual characteristics. There's enough similarity between those characteristics where if a cop is unaliving them, they're not necessarily saying this is a Latino man, this is a black man. They're saying that this is a person of color. That's why the term POC, person of color, is used so often when talking about black and brown people. When you talk about, now, if you want to actually get into the crust of certain studies, and when you talk about like, oh, if you want to talk about like medical treatment, if you want to talk about like finances and all this other stuff, and you want to actually categorize that, we're talking about the rate of people being unalived in real time in a line of duty by police. The police are not actually statistically breaking down or studying to verify exactly which person this is. They are in the line of fire. You can't quote unquote take emotions out of it, because a lot of times when you unalive someone, it is an emotional experience. You're trying to actually use this to actually push your narrative, but the simple
I'm
fact
not
of the
pushing
matter
my
is,
narrative.
if you are black or brown,
you can't do
which
that.
is a lesser population within the United States, you are more likely to be unalived by a cop than a white man.
No, you can't do that, because if you take total numbers, if the other 55% creates white people, you're inflating numbers, right? Because in every other argument and any other aspect that you guys are going to 100% segregate everything, right? Because the Democrats don't want to say this is what's happening to the American people. You guys want to say this is what's happening to the black community. This is what's happening to the Hispanic community, right? And which, again, I think a lot of those have valid arguments, and I don't discredit those type of things. But the fact that you now want to pick and choose, right? Because if it was the Black Lives Matter movement for the absolutely atrocious things that are happening to the black community by cops, and now all of a sudden you want to try to inflate your numbers by now taking on the Hispanic community, that
okay, cool.
Do you know that
Crazy.
black and brown,
Cool.
it just does not even include just Hispanic, right?
Yeah. And also, hold on one second, Robbie, are you a Trump supporter?
Formally, not anymore.
Okay, so you regret your vote?
Well, it's 2016, but yeah, still I do very much so regret that vote.
Who'd you vote for in 2024?
Kamala.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. This is Sparring with Santana, debates with Trump supporters. Myself and Jessica Simone are up here. We are only talking to Trump supporters. If you are a friendly, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 500,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 900 shares. Also, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please, please, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And please take care of my girl, Jessica Simone. Her pay links are running in the bio. Please show Jessica Simone some love. Make sure we're taking care of her, because, again, I haven't heard her say thank you to anybody in a long time. Chat, please don't embarrass me. Make sure we're taking care of Jessica Simone while she's up here as well.
Can I say thank you to Feliciano? Thank you for the $2 for Jessica Simone. I'm in live with you and Santana Jones. Thank you, darling. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Jessica, would you like to react to a question? And then I have a point to make to Chandler.
Oh, yes. I'm just, you said different arguments you can't agree with, and you don't want us to conflate the two. And I was, we were talking about, this being a majority white country, and Black people only make up about 13%. But why do we make up 32% of the prison population? Why are we the majority in the prison population? Why are we imprisoned at a much higher rate? Like, we're talking about how we are targeted. The people from these Haiti, Congo, and also Hispanics, as he was saying, people of color. Even if they are what's that called? Deported your uncle or somebody that you know. They're nowhere in the rates that they are deporting Hispanics. And
Let me finish this question. So do you know how many Latino people
Are you asking a question to her question? That's weird.
I feel like she was making more statements. If I didn't take it as a question, I apologize. Were you looking for a context of an answer? Because I took it as a statement.
well, the only question I have is the sources that you keep referencing to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have them in front of me.
So
But
you just
I
make
look
them
through
up?
ICE. I mean, I can pull it up, but I try not to teacup when I'm on lives, right? But I source
Oh no,
everything.
feel free,
from-
friend. If you're gonna teacup to get sources, go ahead.
Okay, we got Sienna. We'll talk to Sienna while you go
Okay.
get that.
All right,
There you
that's
go.
fair.
Hold on.
I just try not to do that. But I
Sienna,
can
are
give
you a Trump supporter?
No,
Okay, no worries. I'm
I'm
go ahead and
sorry.
jump
It was
now.
an accident.
No worries, guys. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you are someone that supports Donald Jimothy Trump, get in the box. Get in the box. Who's this guy?
You know, Santana, I just had to do something today.
Would you have?
I'm feeling in a very good mood, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high. Watch them Eagles fly.
Yeah, listen. This is the one day you can get that off.
I'm on the bandwagon, Santana.
I am too. Listen, this is the one day.
Come on, say it with me. E-A-G-L, Eagles.
Wouldn't go that far.
What time does the game start?
In an hour.
Yeah, we're getting close to t-shirt time. I think we're close anyway. So yeah, no, it's definitely about to get rolling.
Man, is it just please don't tell me you're rooting for the Chiefs.
Oh no, I don't. I'm rooting for Kendrick Lamar, and that's all I'm looking for.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it. I mean, well, technically, my homie is from Texas, so I have to go with some type of the hometown. Everybody seems to hate him, and I like to go for the underdog, so I guess I'm gonna go for them.
Jalen's from Houston.
Who is Jalen? Samantha, $10 for thank you for your time. I appreciate you, Queen. Drop some coconuts for Samantha in the chat, y'all.
Have y'all seen the magazine crashing out like crazy?
I gotta go grocery shopping. I want to make some nachos for the halftime show. So thank you so much for having me, Santana. It's always a good
absolutely.
Make sure y'all show my brother some love. You're already at 500K. Y'all, we ain't hit 1 million in a long time. So please keep tapping really fast. There's 1,000 people in here. Y'all can get to 600 literally in the next 10 minutes. I swear. I'm gonna tag IZ and as well. Thank you so much again, my brother. Give him a follow if you have not done so. And I appreciate all the love, and I will talk to you guys later. Awesome,
Absolutely. Thank you, Jess. I appreciate you so much.
Of course. Come on now.
Always.
G, are you a Trump supporter?
Well, first and foremost, man, I'm an independent, but I have conservative values. So when I vote, yes, I vote Republican because of that right there.
Okay, so you voted for Donald Jimmy Trump.
You got people who like I sit here and I be scrolling on these little social media sites and stuff, man. I be hearing people like since the man got elected. Like I come from a predominantly Democratic family, all right?
My guy.
And this is the thing.
My guy. I asked you one question and you've been talking for 15 minutes. I didn't even get to say anything. Trump support, that was a yes or no question.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. So with that being said, now I have a follow-up question.
What's up?
Who's Trump's daddy?
I don't care who Trump's daddy is.
Ooh, wrong answer. Listen, you have to care about that. And the reason why I say is because, you know, we're kind of in a bit of a pickle, right? And maybe if I clarify this for you and kind of help you through, right? So the simple fact of the matter is we know about President Musk, right? Absolutely know about President Musk, but he's also been bending the knee to BB. He's also always been Putin's puppet, but more recently than not, he's been the Heritage Foundation's whore. But we also can't forget about his billionaire bosses. So my question is, how can one man serve so many masters?
I got a question for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Why did the people vote for him in such a tremendous turnout? If people won't change, man,
They didn't.
You can sit here and complain all you want,
didn't.
bro. All I can tell you is
They didn't.
sit back, enjoy the show,
They
and
didn't.
grab your popcorn, bro.
They didn't. I answered your question. They didn't. Do you want to engage with what I just said?
Grab your popcorn, dog. I'm gone.
Do you want to engage with what I just said, G, or no?
You know we can't do that, Santana. He can't want to debate. It's whatever Trump tells him.
Is he running? He's
running.
Fucking running. Gee, listen, you can't just swipe out and go. That's not how you leave. You're still here. I know you still hear my voice. You're not gone. That's not how you run. You're still here. Holy smokes, G, come back. You can't even run right. You thought you had a mic drop and you were gonna. Holy smokes, this is bad. This is bad. Oh, there he is, guys. Chat. You know what that means.
Oh. Can't even run right, bro.
They cannot. They cannot.
Oh, that's brutal.
Guys. All right. I don't. Chandler, are you still there?
Yeah, she left. I was getting.
Yeah, she did, and I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I'm getting ready to wrap this up as well because I didn't realize we were so close to the game. I wanted to see if you wanted to, any last points you wanted to get off before we called it.
No, I mean, if there's anything that I can just speak to, right, is politics should be about opposition with respect. And if there's anything that every politician, both on the left and right, can learn, is the type of conversations that I've had with you today. And I appreciate the opposition. I appreciate the facts, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to debate with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Come back, because at some point I would love to actually finish fleshing out that conversation, even more so talking to you about why the Black community was so upset with the Latino community as far as the clip that they voted for Donald Trump, and how that's connected as far as BIPOC people, and why we use the term people of color, and that's why you can't separate that. But anywho, yeah,
we can dive into that another day, man. I'll definitely hop back on here. So it is almost game time, so I'm gonna finish my wings and go watch this.
All right, thank you so much.
Yep.
Isaiah, what are you doing for the game?
Man, I'm just over here watching it, man. Going back with my family, my little brother.
I'm gonna go watch it. I had no clue that we were so close to actually starting the game. I'm glad you brought that up,
bro. You know,
I've been in the zone. I've been in the zone.
I see you've been locked in. I went on a little run. I came back, man. You were still locked in. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, we've been going at it. We've been going at it. Wait, you live this evening?
Nah, bro. I'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'm gonna catch you later.
All right, bro.
All
I'll
right.
see you. Bye-bye.
Yep. Chat. That was something. Like we went through it. It was an absolutely crazy time. Absolutely amazing, guys. We absolutely went through it. Absolutely amazing time, guys. It was a great day. And yeah, we're gonna do this again tomorrow. Well, not sparring. We'll do late nights, guys. Just to close it out, remember, if you're not following me on all the socials, make sure you're doing so. Right, Blue Sky, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you're following me on all the socials. Thank you for all the likes, the taps, the shares. Let's go ahead and hit this outro and get out of here.
Twice emotional stability, a sound body and tranquility. I deserve it all.
Guys, you are all absolutely amazing. Thank you for everything that you guys did today. Thank you for all the love, the encouragement. Thank you for everything. Just thank you for being you. I hope you all have an amazing day. If you're watching the game, enjoy the game, no matter who you root for. If you enjoy the halftime show, I'm looking forward to it. I might actually go live on Twitch to watch the halftime show. So,
keep my crowds loud inside of beats. I deserve it all.
With that being said, I love you guys. Thank you all for being here.